Welcome, everyone, to downtown San Rafael, another live televised broadcast of Pacific's baseball for the 2018 campaign. Yours truly, Stuart Horn and Ethan Estrada to my right, my trusty sidekick for tonight's telecast on CMCM live from Albert Park. Well, Ethan, here we are again, downtown San Rafael. Albert Park and the Pacifics are just about to go into action tonight against the Pittsburgh Diamonds. Diamonds on a 2-game winning streak, 7-9 overall, just a few percentage points behind the second-place Pacifics, who are only a half game back of the champs, the Vallejo Admirals. Looking for a good matchup tonight.
Oh, and especially between these two pitchers. Both of their numbers are phenomenal. So hopefully we can get a great pitching matchup, and especially in a game where the Pacifics need a win to try to stay close to the first-place Admirals. Only a half a game back, and who knows, maybe after a win, they could be in sole possession of first place.
That's absolutely right. You don't know what Vallejo is doing tonight, although there's no question. Across town, I believe Vallejo is playing Sonoma tonight, and but here in downtown San Rafael, at venerable Albert Park, opened in 1950. You know, back in the day when this park was donated by the Albert family, in fact, Jacob Albert, one of the most successful businessmen in San Rafael's history. Back in the day, this was the outskirts of town. He donated all of this land, and they opened the park in 1950. The Pacifics put it all back together in 2012, the 7th year the Pacifics have been back underway, and we are ready for another night of baseball. Well, Aaron Miles and 7-9 for the Pittsburgh Diamonds. Aaron Miles, of course, the manager for the Pittsburgh Diamonds, will be sending out Brett Smith, the right fielder, to lead things off when we get started in just a couple of minutes. He'll be followed by Yuki Yasuda, the second baseman. Batting third will be Patrick O'Donnell, the left fielder. And then the DH, the Pacific's killer, Joel Carranza. For those of you who've followed the Pacifics over the last few years, you know the name Joel Carranza. Not having a good year so far, but always a big threat against the San Rafaels. Wes Wallace, the center fielder, will bat fifth, followed by Gabriel Bracamonte, the catcher. Batting seventh, Rafael Valera, the shortstop, Stephen Javier, the first baseman, and batting ninth will be Austin Fracker. Smith, Yasuda, O'Donnell, Carranza, Wallace, Bracamonte, Valera, Javier, and Fracker. For Aaron Miles and the visiting Pittsburgh Diamonds, who come in tonight 7-9. For Matt Kavanaugh, that's right, the general manager, no, the field manager. The general manager, of course, and vice president of the club is Mike Shapiro, but Matt Kavanaugh is the field manager and has been now his fourth year. Played a couple of years before that as a catcher, so he's a Pacific through and through. He'll be sending out Don Andre Clark, the very popular center fielder. Clark, a speedster on the bases, and as you remember from our last telecast, had a great game out in center field defensively. He'll be followed by Rando Moreno, the shortstop. Jake Taylor, Big Jake, over at first base, batting third, with Brent Gillespie, the DH, in the four-hole. Javion Randall in left field will be batting fifth, followed by Zach Files at third base. Mark Lindsay will bat seventh behind the plate. Aaron Brill at second base, batting eighth. And batting ninth will be the right fielder, Jesus Galando. Clark, Moreno, Taylor, Gillespie, Randall, Files, Lindsay, Brill, Galando. Got a couple of new telecasters with us tonight. They'll be around in the 4th, 5th, 6th, and then the 7, 8, 9. So a full television squad. Scott Calhoun and the crack staff out of CMCM working the cameras tonight. Yours truly, Stuart Horn, right here on Channel 30. We're live, everybody, on CMCM's coverage of the 2018 San Rafael Pacifics. Well, Matt Kavanaugh and Aaron Miles are out at home plate going over the ground rules with tonight's umpiring staff. And we'll get the names of the umpires in just a moment. And, of course, Mike Shapiro is here. Oh, Mike knows. Right around here. Thank you. Mike Shapiro, the owner, one of the owners, the president, general manager of the team, is here, and he's giving us the name of the home plate umpires for tonight's game. Since they just showed up, these guys are like rock stars. They show up at the last minute and then go out onto the field. Let's see here. if I recognize any of those guys. Eric Thompson will be out on the places, and Dean Poteet, the home plate umpire. He was the guy who was the home plate umpire on the night of the very first game this year and the very first game last year. So it's a bit of a tradition to have Dean Poteet alongside. As Mark Carlson, our overhead announcer here at the ballpark, is going over tonight's starting lineups. You can see our first base camera there. And you can see the Pacifics and the Diamonds lining up. Going back to what you said a minute ago, Ethan, talking about the percentage points that separate the champs, that is the Vallejo Admirals and the San Rafael Pacifics. Pacifics all alone in second place, but only half a game back. And the Pacifics haven't won a championship in 3 years now and would absolutely love to get it done this year. And tonight is their first golden opportunity to jump into first place after 18 games.
And that is actually really big, especially when you haven't won a championship in quite a while. Getting in first place is such a huge step towards doing that.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And it certainly is good for momentum.
We would like to have a moment of silence in honor of the 43 victims of the Tubbs fire.
We're listening now to Mark Carlson here at the ballpark. A moment of silence.
Thank you. At this time,
all right, we're ready for the
in
national
honor of
anthem,
America
everybody.
And the brave men and women who serve our great
And
nation,
on the other
both at
side
home and around the
of the
world,
anthem, we're going to have
and in
Pacific's
honor of our
baseball
first
for
responders
you
here at
from
home,
downtown San
we
Rafael.
present this rendition
For those
of
of
our
you at
national
home,
anthem
please rise.
as performed by Matt Hansen. Matt is an 18-year-old singer-songwriter from Greenbrae, California, who will be starting his freshman year at UCLA this coming fall. His new single, Love I Couldn't Show, will be available on Apple Music and Spotify in late July. Ladies and gentlemen, Matt Hansen.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glove, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Well, not a bad rendition of the national anthem.
Hansen.
Matt Hansen doing the national anthem tonight. Boy, that was not bad work there, Ethan. Thinking one of these nights I might have to get you out there to do the national anthem. What do you think?
My voice might sound pretty, but it does not sound pretty when I have to sing.
It does sound very pretty. Well, we're ready for baseball, everybody. 70 degrees first pitch, which is coming up in just a moment here. And just the slightest wind over the left field wall. The prevailing wind here at Albert Park, about 10 miles an hour over the left field wall. Defensively for San Rafael, Javion Randall will start in left field. Don Andre Clark out there in center with Jesus Galando over in right field. For those of you who've been following the Pacifics, it's an all-new outfield this year. Zach Files at third base, Rondo Moreno at shortstop, Aaron Brill at second with Big Jake Taylor over at first base. Mark Lindsay starts tonight behind the plate, and Jared Koenig, a 1.47 ERA. And Ethan, I know you love that 1.47. He's 2-0.
An ERA might not be the whole story to a pitcher, but it is a huge chunk of it. That's like half the book. But I think the biggest stat that stands out about a season thus far is that he pretty much has a 3-to-1 strikeout to walk ratio. That's incredible.
Koenig, well, you're absolutely right. 22 strikeouts against 7 base on balls, 3 earned runs, and a 2-0 record at that 1.47 ERA. The big, tall, lanky left-hander has your basic 3, the fastball, the changeup, a curve, but he also has a little bit of a cutter that he'll pull out when he needs to, and he can throw it very hard, and we are ready for baseball. Dean Poteet, your home plate umpire, is getting himself in position. Want to give a big shout-out to Jonathan Resby listening and watching this telecast online tonight in Houston, Texas. That's Jonathan Resby. All right, everybody. I bet in Houston it's pretty dark.
Probably.
Is it 2 hours difference in Houston?
Yeah, Central
It's gonna be dark here in no time, but for now the shadows are long across the field. Everybody in the infield, with the exception of Jake Taylor at first base, still in the sunlight. Koenig, the tall lefty, brings a fastball to start things off with a called strike against Brett Smith. 7-10 your first pitch in 70 degrees. Right on the button here at Albert Park. Smith hit batting .255. The leadoff batter takes 1-1. He's got 1 bomb on the season, 11 driven in. Smith is starting shortstop for Aaron Miles and the Diamonds. Takes a called strike on the outside black. So far, Koenig looking pretty strong, working very quickly. 1 ball, 2 strikes, top of the first inning, no score. Koenig takes the sign from Lindsay and on 4 pitches and brings the heat to get Smith swinging 1 away.
Not quite. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night. Had a little lunch break in between, but he puts him away.
He had 1 ball in there, but on 4 pitches, gets Smith, and he saved the best for last. Here's Yuki Yasuda. Yasuda, the second baseman, takes high. 1-0. Yasuda batting .276. 2 RBIs for the 2-hole hitting center fielder Yasuda. And Dean Petit called a ball 2. 2-0 to Yasuda. Patrick O'Donnell is on deck, 1 away, up and away, and now it's 3-0. Well, you're watching 2018 Santa Fe Pacific's baseball from downtown Santa Fe right here on CMCM's live coverage on Channel 30. AT&T 99. Of course, we're streaming online. All over the place. Outside black is taken for a strike, 3-1. And it's a little too far outside, and Yasuda walks. First base runner of the night is Yasuda as he trots on down to the first base bag. Here's Patrick O'Donnell. Top of the first inning, everybody. Just a slight breeze, a perfect night for baseball. If you're lying around on the couch, it's a good night to come on down. Plenty of seats. Tuesday night baseball. We are going to be back on Thursday night, 48 hours from now. We'll be live again here on CMCM.
And I will be back.
I'm happy to hear it. Soft toss over to first. And Yasuda dives back in safely. Well, Koenig started strong, striking out Smith on 4 pitches, but then walked Yasuda. And now here's O'Donnell. And a little bit harder toss over to first as Yasuda scurries back to the bag. Koenig 2-0 with that 1.47 ERA. Totally preoccupied with the speedy Yasuda at first. Fly ball to the gap in right center, and that's going to get down for extras. That rolls all the way to the wall. Coming around third and scoring easily is Yasuda. On his way to third is Patrick O'Donnell. And a stand-up triple, and O'Donnell with an RBI, and the Diamonds lead 1-0.
That was just a poor sequence of events right there. Issuing only his 8th walk of the season, and all of a sudden you leave 1 bad pitch to the 1 wrong hitter, and it's a 1-0 ball game. And that's just the life of a pitcher. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. You just got to battle through it.
Looked like O'Donnell just absolutely roped a little cutter. And he went right into that right center field gap all the way to the wall. 370 straight away with a 25-foot wall in center field. 315 down the line as Joel Carranza takes a called strike. The DH Carranza batting .250. 3 driven in this season with an opportunity to make it 4 pretty easily with O'Donnell, the runner, at third base, 1 away here in the top of the first. And another, that was a little bit of a slider it looked like. And quickly, Carranza, who has no home runs so far this season, the DH. Carranza's totally one of those very powerful guys. But is behind in the count, 0-2. 1 away, top of the first. Something off speed, and Carranza waved at it, fouled it back to the screen. 4th pitch of the at-bat coming up with Wes Wallace on deck. 1 down, 1 in, and O'Donnell the runner at third base after the triple into the gap in right center. Ooh, boy, did he hit that hard. Let's see if he can keep Carranza from hitting something hard. And Carranza waves at a breaking ball in the dirt. Lindsay heaves it down to first to complete the strikeout as it got away from him momentarily. Koenig gets his second strikeout of the evening. And here's Wes Wallace with 2 down, 1 in, 1 on. Wallace does have a lot of power, Ethan. In fact, leads the team with 4 home runs.
And you better not make a mistake with that cut fastball. Cut fastballs inside to right-handers from lefties is a little bit of a power zone.
Wallace has an opportunity to get his 13th RBI, which also leads the team. Takes across the ankles. 1-0. 2 down. Man at third is O'Donnell. Big curveball. Just flops in, taken for a strike, 1-1. Wallace was locked up. Gabriel Bracamonte is on deck. Top of the first, everybody. 1 run's already in. Wallace the hitter. Long fly ball into center field. To his right is Don Andre Clark. He's under it. He's got it. And Wallace goes down to finish things. 1 run, 1 hit. As we go to the bottom of the first inning, on CMCM's coverage of the 2018 Santa Fe Pacifics, it will be Don Andre Clark, Rando Moreno, and Jake Taylor for the Pacifics. 1-0 in favor of the Diamonds. We'll be back in just a moment. Well, it's a 1-0 ball game, everybody. Downtown San Rafael. San Rafael Pacifics baseball. Don Andre Clark is going to lead things off for San Rafael. For the visiting Diamonds, Patrick O'Donnell, who had that stand-up triple in the top of the inning, is going to start in left field. Wes Wallace in center and Brett Smith over in right. Clark stands in and takes a fastball for a strike. 0-1. On the mound for the visiting Diamonds is Tyler Steinwalt, a 2.07 ERA. He's 2-0 so far. Big, tall right-hander. As Don Andre Clark squares to bunt, he offers, but missed. 0-2. To Clark, a 339 batter, does have a little bit of power. Popped one out of here. 7 driven in. It'll be Clark, Rando Moreno, and Big Jake Taylor. Here's the 0-2. He goes opposite field, straight into the sunlight. Moving to his right 1 step, Patrick O'Donnell hauls it in. Well, Clark hit it hard there, Ethan, but Patrick O'Donnell was in perfect position to make the out, 1 away.
And that's one of those frustrating at-bats where you know you got a really good piece of it, but you hit it to the wrong spot of the field, right to where one guy is standing, and that happens more often than people would like.
I'll tell you what, I'll bet you Clark was thinking, I got to go opposite with the sun the way it plays here at Albert Park. Here's Rando Moreno, who swings at the first pitch and fouls it back to the screen. 1 strike on Moreno, a 265 batter. 10 driven in on the season, batting in the 2-hole. Taylor in the BMW on-deck circle. But for now, Steinwalt kicks and deals. A big curveball in the dirt, swung on and missed. And as he was against Clark, Steinwalt's ahead in the count, 0-2.
That was a great change of pace pitch. Great pitch.
Just a big, funky breaking ball. Here's the 0-2. got him with another breaking ball. And very quickly, Moreno goes down, 2 away. Well, offensively, so far, well, of course, we're just talking 2 batters. Clark hit the ball hard, but they're not seeing the pitch from Steinwalt yet, Ethan.
Not many times can you feel a sound, but when Steinwalt's fastball hits the back of Bracamonte's glove behind the plate, I can feel it in my hand. As an old baseball player, you can feel that sound.
Bracamonte, as Ethan mentioned, is catching tonight for Aaron Miles' Pittsburgh Diamonds. Here's Jake Taylor. Big Jake, fastball is popped foul into the parking lot. Defensively, Austin Fracker at third, Rafael Valera at short, Yuki Yasuda at second, Steven Javier at first. 2 down, bottom of the first inning, 1-0 in favor of the visiting Pittsburgh Diamonds. Taylor takes low, 1-1.
That's the first time this inning Steinwalt has not had pinpoint accuracy on his fastball. Before that pitch, he's pretty much put it where he wants to.
He went 0-2 on Clark, 0-2 on Moreno, and now Taylor's 1-1. Here it is. Breaking ball. Taylor swings way over the top, off speed. 1 ball and 2 strikes with Brent Gillespie, the DH, on deck. There's a good view of Big Jake. Wears the hose very high. I like that look. Steinwalt, that 2.07 ERA, and he grounds him to short. 2 hopper by Valera, and he can't handle it. The throw to first is not in time. Taylor's aboard after an error by Rafael Valera at short. Now Valera's out there. He's in disbelief, but Taylor legged it out, Ethan. That's why you got to run hard every time.
And especially when you're playing middle infield and the ball comes out of the shadows into the sun, it is so hard to pick it up. It's just like when you're a batter at the plate and the ball comes from shadow to sunlight. It makes it that much harder, and especially on a hard 2-hopper off the bat of Taylor.
That's a very good point. It's just one of those little things about Albert Park. And each, especially in indie ball, each park has all kinds of its own little characteristics that the home team has the advantage of knowing because they play here so much. Here's Brent Gillespie. Taylor at first. And they haven't put up on the board yet what, if that was an error, I mean, it's got to be. There's no way because Rafael Valera had it right in the glove, and he just muffed it. It was a 3-hopper. It wasn't like it was too hot for him to handle. Gillespie ahead in the count, 1-0. Javion Randall's on deck. Steinwalt takes a little longer look. Left-handed batter, Gillespie.
Ooh.
Oh, a fastball away is taken 2-0. Ooh, I don't know where that missed, really. I'm looking at the monitor, and he barely missed outside. Gillespie batting .310, 3 bombs and 16 driven in, Ethan. He's ahead in the count, 2-0. 2 down, and he ropes it into right field. That's going to get down for a base hit in front of Brett Smith, the right fielder. Smith brings it in very quickly, and that forced Jake Taylor to stop at second base. Brent Gillespie, the first hit of the night for San Rafael. They still have not put up on the board how Jake Taylor arrived at first base. They didn't give him a hit, nor did they credit an error.
I have to imagine that's an error. That is.
I don't know. It's not on the board. How long does it take?
That is usually a routine play for the shortstop to make. You see tons of shortstop make those plays no matter what level.
2 on, 2 down. Here's Javion Randall, the 5-hole hitter, a .426 hitter, first in the conference. .426, 2 on, 2 down. Oh, a little change up, and Randall thought about it but held up, and wisely. It's a 1-0 ball game in favor of the visiting Pittsburgh Diamonds. Zach Files is on deck, everybody. 2 on, 2 down. Oh, and he had me locked up, but Randall knew what he was thinking. 2-0.
And that's what happens when you're so hot and you have a batting average of .426. The ball is a beach ball out of the hand of the pitcher.
Yeah, that's a good call.
So you'll have the guts to take a borderline pitch or two.
I wouldn't be surprised if Dean Poteet knew that Javion Randall has a pretty discerning eye. Steinwalt takes a long look at Jake Taylor and steps off. Taylor there in the foreground of your television screen, number 8, at second base. Here's the 0-2, and there's a cutter that falls in backdoor 2-1. A good pitch there out of Steinwalt, who needed to establish a little command for Dean Poteet, our home plate umpire. Heart of the order for the Pacifics is tough. Taylor 350, Gillespie 310, Randall 426, Files 305. And Steinwalt's right in the middle of it right now. And now an official timeout on the field. I'm not sure why our home plate umpire, Dean Poteet, jumped up and out of the crouch. But now he points out at Steinwalt and says, let's play ball. Randall the hitter. 2-1. Steinwalt stands tall. Here it is. Low. And now it's 3-1, and Steinwalt's one pitch away from walking. The base is full.
Steinwalt, who started off this inning great with great fastball command, great change of pitch, great change of pace with that little breaking ball, has lost a little bit of his touch here in the last 3 batters.
A long look in. Bracamonte, the catcher, sends out the sign. Here's the 3-1. Low, and he walked him.
And that's what happens when you're hitting 426. Not only do you get the base hits and the doubles, the triples, the homers, but you also get the walks. That's a key part of the game, is just get on base. Let the next guy come up and do something good.
Steinwalt walks Javion Randall on 5 pitches. And the Pacifics have a chance to do something good. Here's Zach Files, the third baseman. First year man. Files, a left-handed batter, batting .305 with 3 bombs. He's got some pop. 8 driven in. 15 walks, which leads the Pacifics. Be a good time to pick up a base on balls right here. There's a slow curveball taken. And Files, I think, just wanted to see if Steinwalt could get something over. Mark Lindsay's on deck. 6th batter of this, the bottom of the first inning. Bags jammed. Nowhere to put him.
Ooh.
Big curveball is swung on and missed. And now it's 0-2 to Zach Files.
After having a little bit of trouble with his fastball command, coming back with 2 big hooks, and both of them looking really good.
You can see if Files is sitting fastball. I wouldn't be surprised if the high cheese comes right now. Files batting .305. But he's got to protect. Bases loaded. High fastball is taken. One and 2. Man, what a perfect night for baseball. Well, if you love minor league baseball, it's a great place to be. 1-2 now. Bottom of the first. Files stands in. Swung on and missed as Files scurried toward first base, but Bracamonte just reached down and picked it up and stepped on home plate. First base was occupied. I don't think it would have mattered either way. Well, the Pacifics, with at least 1 hit, and they still don't have it up on the board how Jake Taylor ended up at first base. And
Oh, there it is. Error.
they did show the error for the Diamonds. Okay, well, I agree with that.
Definitely.
Yeah, as Valera just couldn't handle it. After 1 complete, everybody, it's 1-0 in favor of the Diamonds. And coming up, it'll be the 6, 7, 8 hitters in Gabriel Bracamonte, Rafael Valera, and Stephen Javier. And at this point, I want to be sure to give a shout-out to Dr. Jennifer Rodriguez, as Len stopped by, a very nice gentleman, and said, give my wife, Jennifer Rodriguez, Dr. Jennifer Rodriguez, a shout-out. So you're getting it right here on CMCM's coverage of the 2018 San Rafael Pacifics. We'll be right back. Top of the second inning here on CMCM's coverage of the 2018 Santa Fe Pacifics.
Leading off for the Diamonds,
Jared Koenig
number 28.
on the hill, the big left-hander for Santa Fe, will face Bracamonte, Valera, and Javier. And he starts off Bracamonte with a strike, 0-1. Bracamonte's first at-bat here in the top of the second inning, where the Diamonds lead 1-0, is batting .333. Hammers one towards short and past the outstretched arm of Rondo Moreno for base hit. And that's how we start the second inning, Ethan. A good piece of hitting.
Good piece of hitting because it was a good pitch by Koenig. Got to use that. Koenig. Good pitch for a ground ball. He just hit it hard right through a hole.
Hard to get one past Moreno over there at shortstop. Very effective.
Especially from what we saw last time we were here.
Rafael Valera, the shortstop, batting .263, stands in. Leads the team with 16 driven in this season. Valera holds the hands very high, now drops him into hitting position. Right-handed batter. A little something off speed. Taken, 1-0. Bracamonte, the runner at first base. Not much of a threat to steal. This is usually the case with catchers. You don't see too many catchers with high stolen base numbers. Javier's on deck. Valera stands in. Across the knees. Ooh. From our position, that looked pretty good. 2-0. Called a ball.
Going back to catchers without stolen base numbers, that's something that's disappearing from the game of baseball. Don't see a lot of stolen bases anymore.
Here's the 2-0. Fouled to the screen and just over our heads back into Kirby Cove. 2-1 as Valera.
The days of 100 stolen bases in a single season, I think they're numbered for now. Might be a day that we see it come back, but as of now, it's
100. These guys only play 3 months for one thing. So you're looking at 20, it'd be a good number. Valera again over the first base line and in Kirby Cove. And there's just a ton of kids playing over there and foul balls. You have to keep an eye on things. What I like about this position, Ethan, is we are totally protected. Of course, unless a ball hits that light standard right above us, which we see straight above us, everybody, is a light standard. And every once in a while, the ball will get there. 2-2. And this is stroked into right field, a base hit. Boy, that got him down quickly. Over to second goes Bracamonte, and Valera, the runner at first base, stroked it into right field. Diving for it was Aaron Brill, but there was just no way Brill was going to get it. It was between Taylor at first and Brill, the second baseman.
That was a beautiful piece of hitting. Good swing on that cutter. Drove it the other way, which is exactly what you want to do with the ball coming into you. You want to give it a nice inside-out swing and send it the other way. He just got a lot of pop behind it, right past the dive.
8-hole hitter Steven Javier has made his way to the hitting area with 2 on. Nobody out here in the top of the second inning. Pacifics trail 1-0. Koenig looks the runner back to second, and a high breaking ball is taken for a strike. And I'm surprised that was called a strike by home plate umpire Dean Poteet. Bracamonte, the runner at second. Valera, the runner at first. Nobody out. Big bender, and that falls in for a strike. And very quickly, Koenig is ahead in the count, 0-2.
Right
Koenig
before
protecting that 1.47 ERA.
Right before this at bat, Lindsay went out and had a conversation with him. Might have worked out a few kinks in his windup, his release point maybe.
Here's the 0-2. Oh, and it just, gosh, I don't know where Lindsay shuddered, and I think it got him in the wrist or got him in the upper thigh. Or Lindsay's limping, so I doubt it was the wrist.
I think that was just what you would call an old-fashioned cross-up. I think he was looking for a little breaking ball and got the heater right down the plate. Went down to block something in the dirt and just hit him right where it wasn't supposed to.
Yeah. So Lindsay's going to walk it off as Dean Poteet's giving him a little extra time to think about it. As it stands, 1 ball and 2 strikes. 1 ball, 2 strikes, a .273 hitter. is Stephen Javier, the first baseman. 1 bomb and 2 driven in on the season, with Austin Fracker on deck. Interesting, Fracker with a 306 batting average. Kind of reminds me of old Mike Marshall putting a good hitter in the 9-hole. A very strong hitter or something off speed is taken high, 2-2. Fifth pitch of the at-bat coming up, Ethan.
And a lot of teams are doing that now. They're putting a really good hitter with a high average in the 9 spot, so it acts as a double leadoff.
That's right. 2-2 now. Javier stands in. Koenig looks the runner back, comes home, and our home plate umpire is right in his way, or right in my way. That's Eric Thompson out there on the bases. Fouled back over the first base line toward Jane's First Base Cafe. We'll do it again. 6th pitch of the at-bat coming up right here to Javier. Top of the 2nd inning. Boy, it's a perfect night for baseball. Koenig comes home, a fastball, first base side, and that's way out of here. Well, this is a good battle now. The count remains 2-2. Javier, 7th pitch of the at-bat coming up. New baseball comes into play.
And from the vantage point of the Diamonds, this is actually a really good situation. You got a batter with a good, solid batting average battling up right there at the plate with a runner in scoring position. Still nobody out, and especially with a guy like Koenig, who has a 1.47 ERA.
2-2, got him with the big curveball. Javier could not possibly catch up to it. And the 3rd strikeout of the night is Stephen Javier. Well, 3 out of 8 hitters to go down to the K. That's the first out. Two on. Bracamonte at second. Valera the runner at first. And here's Austin Fracker. Fracker, the 3rd baseman, batting .306. Nine RBIs on the season. It has a runner in scoring position. A fastball is very high to Fracker. 1-0, his first at-bat of the evening. Brett Smith is on deck. The top of the order. Fracker, the 9-hole hitter. Koenig deals, and there's your 2-seamer. Taken 1-1. It's like Koenig's not paying a ton of attention to the runner at second base in Bracamonte. There's something off speed, but up and away, and now it's 2-1.
Just notice a little bit of an interesting defensive alignment here with the infield playing in for this situation. I understand that you don't want the game to get away from you, but it's early.
Brill and Moreno way in, almost all the way to the grass.
Oh.
Swings at another breaking ball. And now it's 2-2 as Fracker was nowhere near it. Well, he got Javier with the big bender, and earlier in the game got Carranza with the big bender in the dirt.
I think that was just one of those swings where Fracker thought to himself, okay, I'm swinging on this pitch no matter what. It's just he didn't foresee that it would bounce almost right at the grass.
If you're sitting fastball, there's nothing you can do. There's another breaking ball. One hopper over to 3rd, and now the Pacifics have a runner, Bracamonte, between 2nd and 3rd in a rundown. And they are able to get on the one hopper, so Fracker hits to a fielder's choice. It goes 5, 4, 6. No, 5, 4 to 6. Okay.
Just like you draw it up.
For the Diamonds, right fielder.
And
Smith.
on the play, Fracker stays at first. That's a fielder's choice. Brett Smith, everybody, his second at-bat of the night. Last time up, he led off the game with a strikeout on 4 pitches. Snap throw over to first base. And Fracker dives back in safely. 2 down. And I have to correct myself. Bracamonte scored on the play. It was Rafael Valera who was caught in the pickle, the 5-4-6. Which represented the second out. So that makes it a 2-0 ball game, and Brett Smith stands in ahead in the count. Check it behind the count. 0-1. Another snap throw over to first base. But Fraker dives back in safely. There's a good view of Jake Taylor from the third baseline. Breaking ball is swung on and chopped foul. 0-2 to Brett Smith, the 2.55 hitter coming into tonight's action. 1 bomb and 11 driven in. Yuki Yasuda is on deck. Koenig has really slowed things down, Ethan. There's another breaking ball, and he got him swinging. So Brett Smith goes down for the second time tonight to end things. Here in the second inning, the Diamonds score one on the pickle play that Austin Fracker hit into, and the Pacifics will send up the 7, 8, 9 batters in Mark Lindsay, in Aaron Brill, and Jesus Galando. As we go bottom of the second, it's 2-0 in favor of the visiting Pittsburgh Diamonds right here on CMCM's coverage of the 2018 San Rafael Pacifics. We'll be right back. Well, as we go to the bottom of the second inning, everybody, the Pacifics need to get something going here, Ethan. It'll be the 7, 8, 9 batters in Mark Lindsay, Aaron Brill, and Jesus Galando.
And what they need to do here is just grind against Steinwald. Do exactly what you did in the first inning. Just come up with that one big hit that is necessary.
Steinwald's tough to grind against. A 2.07 ERA, and a fastball is very high. First at bat of the evening for Mark Lindsay, a 2.67 batter. 4 RBIs this season. Check swing is called a strike. 1-1. Bracamonte, as Ethan mentioned earlier, you can really hear the snap. Steinwald deals, across the knees and just enough outside to make Lindsay think, but a called strike, and it's 1-2. And Dean Poteet's strike zone just grew.
Nothing you could do with that pitch other than roll over to first base.
This is
like that one.
In the dirt, threw up a lot of chalk as it came off of the shin guard of Bracamonte. And now it's 2-2. The fifth pitch of the at-bat coming up. Brill on deck. Steinwald enshrouded out there on the mound and in the shadows. Just a couple of players left in the sun. And there's a little screwball that got away from him. For the first time tonight, a full count. Steinwald's 2-0. Koenig's 2-0. One of these heavyweights is going down tonight. Lindsay stands in. Full count, first base line, and fouled out of play. Those low ERAs, it looked like we'd go into a hitter's, it'd be kind of a pitcher's duel tonight. Not a hitter's duel. Not a hitter's game. What was the last game that we called? It was high-scoring affair. Oh, and he got him on a big bender. It gets away from Bracamonte, who throws down to first to complete the strikeout. And Lindsay is gone. The third strikeout tonight registered by Tyler Steinwald. Tonight's telecast is brought to you by Community Media Center of Marin in association with the San Rafael Pacifics and Dominican University of California. The Pacifics partnership with Dominican and CMCM, bringing budding broadcasters into your living room. A live telecast.
I go there.
Yes, you do. And we're going to have more Dominican students on later tonight. Here's Aaron Brill, everybody. His first at-bat of the evening, the second baseman for the Pacifics. And he seemed like he dropped the bat way ahead of the pitch.
No doubt in his mind that he was going to take it all the way.
All the way. And Galando's on deck. Steinwald kicks and deals a big right-hander. A fastball across the knees is taken 1-1.
Steinwald probably went into the dugout and figured out something on that fastball because it's had the same pinpoint accuracy that it had for the first couple of batters of the first inning.
Brill, the right-hander, stands in. Right-handed batter, 269 hitter, and takes across the knees. I think you're right. Steinwalt, all of a sudden, is snapping it off. 1 ball and 2 strikes. 1 driven in on the season for Brill, who plays a lot. Kind of surprised at such a low number. Hacked at a fastball back to the screen.
One thing that I see here from Brill at the plate is he's choking up and going with the 2-strike approach. Especially with a guy with a hard fastball, you want that bat control that choking up gives you. And that's something that throughout all of baseball people are losing touch of, is that 2-strike approach with strikeout numbers as high as they've ever been.
Bottom of the second, 1 down. Steinwalt comes home and gets him with a breaking ball, and this is dropped again by Bracamonte, who reaches down and grabs it and then tags Brill, who kind of slipped coming out of the box. 2 strikeouts, and Ethan, I think you called it. Steinwalt's got the fastball working, locating nicely, and then when he mixes in a little bender, it seems like the hitters are just not sitting on it.
I still don't think they're picking up Steinwalt very well. So far, 4 out of the 5 outs have been strikeouts, and all of them swinging.
Here's Jesus Galando, everybody, the 9-hole hitter, a left-handed batter, batting .200. And the same numbers as Brill. Just 1 driven in so far. And there's that heater outside black, but he doesn't get the call, 1-0. Don Andre Clark awaits in the BMW on-deck circle. Oh, look at that. Got the CMCM super slow-mo going. That looks pretty good. Galando takes indoors 2-0. Boy, there's always cool things going on with CMCM's coverage of the 2018 Center Field Pacifics. Now, so starting Thursday night, we're going to have some sideline reporting out of these guys as well. So they're going to wrap up each half inning with a little live coverage. Galando stands in. And a mighty Herculean hack at a fastball, but he's behind it with 2 down, 2-1.
Now that is something I have not done yet.
No, you haven't done that, so you're going to get a chance to do some sideline reporting.
Exciting.
I suggest you follow that link I sent you. Here's the 2-1 in the dirt. No, that link I sent you doesn't have it. 2-1. We're going to have to talk about it. In the dirt, now it's 3-1. But so each game Scott and I like to add a little something new. Tonight it's the super slow-mo. 3-1.
Oof.
And Galando, that was just power on power, who was just behind it ever so slightly. And for the second time tonight, only one other batter, and that was Mark Lindsay, has gone full against Steinwalt.
I'd be sitting fastball right here. That's what he's had great control over.
Payoff pitch, curveball, got him right over the top of a big bender. And Galando goes down. Well, Steinwalt strikes out 3 in a row to end the second inning, and the Pacifics cannot get another one across the plate. Can't get any across the plate. It's 2-0. For the visiting Diamonds here in the top of the third inning, it will be Yuki Yasuda, followed by Patrick O'Donnell and Joel Carranza. The 2-3-4 batters for the Diamonds. And we'll be back in just a moment with more coverage of the 2018 San Rafael Pacifics right here on CMCM. All right, everybody, it's the top of the third inning where the visiting Diamonds lead 2-0. Yuki Yasuda is going to lead off, and with the play-by-play, here is Ethan.
Well, now Yasuda will step in for the second time today. Last time drew a walk, a rare walk from Koenig, and another foul ball. Has him in an 0-2 hole.
To the first base dugout for the mascot race. Now Lou.
Koenig trying to find a groove. Has been bothered by base runners thus far. And his 1.47 ERA, probably closer to 2 at this point. Swing and a miss. Nice breaking ball. Lindsay with the tag, and Yasuda down on strikes.
Well, much like Steinwalt, Koenig has absolutely fooled a couple of batters, and Yasuda was not thinking breaking ball or fastball. don't know what he was thinking. He was nowhere near it.
So now here comes Patrick O'Donnell, who hit a ringing triple into the right center alleyway. And he takes ball 1 down here. Koenig being careful on the first pitch, which rightfully you should, because that was a shot. It was hit so hard and into one of the deepest part of the park that he was at third base standing.
Your attention, please. I need Bali to the Pacific.
There's a backup fastball called a strike on the inside.
Not a lot of triples hit here at Albert Park, but O'Donnell got one standing, as you mentioned.
Swing and a line drive to right. Right there is Galindo to put it away for another out. So 2 quicks out for Koenig, and that's exactly what he needed.
Yeah, you're right. It'd be nice to get the Pacifics back into the hitting area, and before the Diamonds get away from them. Diamonds just racking them up, just chipping away.
So now here comes Joel Carranza. He's 0 for 1 with a strikeout. First pitch from Koenig. Soft stuff, called a strike. Koenig really could use a 1-2-3 inning, a quick inning. Try to keep that pitch count low as he misses upstairs for ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike to Carranza.
There are a few batters that Pacifics fans think about as total Pacifics killers.
And there's another strike. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
And Joel Carranza is one of them. He's just a thorn. He's always there, and it always seems like he's hitting the ball when it matters most.
The 1-2 pitch. That's a ball in the dirt. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Well, that's what good hitters usually do. They usually feast on at least one team. Paul Goldschmidt with the Giants, Nolan Arenado with the Dodgers. There is always that one guy, that one team that for some reason good hitters can hit off of, and that is a ball down low. Breaking ball. 3 balls, 2 strikes to Carranza. Koenig will try to put him away with this 3-2. Swing and a miss. Nasty stuff on the outside will get Carranza swinging.
Zeros across for the Diamondbacks.
And that's exactly what Koenig needed, an easy 1-2-3 inning with the sandwich strikeouts. So at the end of 2.5, the score is Diamonds 2, Pacifics nothing. You are watching. I'm used to saying listening with Dominican radio, but you are watching live coverage of the 2018 San Rafael Pacifics here on CMCM TV. We will be back after this. And welcome back to San Rafael Pacifics Baseball live here on CMCM TV, where the Pittsburgh Diamonds lead the San Rafael Pacifics 2-0. And Tyler Steinwald has been a big reason why that 2-run lead is held up. He has been superb, and all because of one pitch. His fastball has been in total command of this ballgame.
Yeah, he's really been tough so far. And I got a good feeling about this. This bottom of the third inning. The top of the order is coming up. Clark hit the ball very hard his one time up. He just hit it straight over to Patrick O'Donnell in left field, but he hit it really hard. And I'd like to see the Pacifics put a couple up here in the bottom of the third.
And as you mentioned, Don Andre Clark, the leadoff man, will step in. Last time up, hit it really well, just right at O'Donnell in left field. The first pitch, he tries to go right field again, but slaps it into the street for strike 1.
He's just a little late on that fastball.
None of the Pacifics have been able to pick up anything thus far out of the hand of Steinwald. As the 0-1 pitch, that's a little breaking ball off the outside, and it evens up the count at 1 ball, 1 strike.
Clark has a very discerning eye. He's just the perfect leadoff man.
The 1-1. Oh, just inside. I'm pretty sure the pitch missed inside, but
Now
Bracamonte behind the plate put a nice frame on that one.
Yeah, you could hear Dean Poteet call it. He said that was missed inside.
So 2 balls, 1 strike. Steinwald's pitch, swinging a chopper to third. Fraker over to first, and it's a wild throw and gets away. He trips up Clark. The umpire calls obstruction, and he automatically gets second base no matter the outcome. Wow. Started off a little promising. A high chopper to Fraker, who put a good throw on it, but a little bit wild.
Yeah, it was high, and it was down the line quite a ways. And I just think that Javier could not come up with it. Well, obviously couldn't come up with it over at first base. Let's see. So Clark was awarded second with an obstruction call, but to tell you the truth, it looked to me like he tripped over the bag because I don't think Javier was in his way. Javier was already behind the bag chasing the ball down.
And I think warning was issued to the opposing manager just now. Probably arguing that obstruction call, which you just saw that he might have tripped on the bag.
Yeah.
Close enough that you have to argue, especially in a close ball game.
Absolutely. I think that Clark tripped on the bag. Of course, we don't unless we have the CMCM super slow-mo replay.
So now here comes Rondo Moreno.
This would be a perfect time for it. Okay, no replay available for this
The first
particular
pitch to
play.
Moreno is a fastball that misses low. 1 ball, no strikes. The Pacifics can use base runners. Put some men on. As the shortstop Valero will call time to try to talk to his pitcher.
So they have given Fracker an error on the throw. Rightfully so. The second error tonight committed by the visiting Diamonds. And then Clark advances to second on the obstruction.
So the 1-0 pitch from Steinwald as play is halted for a little bit. Umpire gives the play ball. And the 1-0 pitch from Steinwald is inside. After having impeccable fastball control for the first 2 innings, seemed to have lost a touch a little bit.
Well, he can't just sit on the fastball all night, though. That's the thing. Is even though when he does locate it, it's perfect. That last pitch had a little bit of movement on it, and he can't just sit on the fastball. He's got to continue to mix it up.
Checking the runner. Comes home, and it's another ball. 3 balls, no strikes, and the Pacifics really need base runners if they want to come in, especially with Jake Taylor on deck. This could be huge if Moreno could work a walk.
Moreno batting .265, struck out his last AB. Be nice to draw the walk here. And that was the cheese.
The 3-0. Right down the heart of the plate. Hard to miss when it's right there. 3 balls, 1 strike.
Like Moreno was sitting, had the bat sitting on the shoulder all the way at 3-0.
Now Moreno in a hitter's count, 3 balls, 1 strike. Steinwald trying to snuff out the rally before it even starts. The 3-1. Another one right down the heart of the plate. Full count.
Rando was backing out of the box as Steinwald was in his motion.
Interesting choice to take that pitch. It was a fastball right down the heart of the plate. Right down the heart of the plate. Perfect pitch to hit. Just decided to take it.
And he just decided way before the pitch was delivered that he wasn't going to swing at it.
Now the 3-2. Swinging a chopper. Oh, and another misplay. The 3rd error of the night for the Diamonds as sloppy defense now puts runners at the corners.
Let's see if they give a hit. Coming in was Yuki Yasuda, the second baseman, and he couldn't handle the short hop. And it was a do-or-die short hop, and it just hit him in the wrist. It popped up, and that allowed the Pacifics to get something going. Now runners at the corners. Clark at third, Moreno over at first base, and he's been given a hit. And Now the Pacifics have something going, as you mentioned, with Big Jake coming up.
And this is exactly what you want when you're a manager. You dream of situations with your big man up to bat with runner in scoring position. And that's exactly what Kavanaugh has here with Taylor at the plate. As Steinwald's pitch is, I guess, a little bit up. I really don't know where it missed.
Yeah.
A couple hecklers in the stands as Steinwald was not happy with that call. Well, that's what you'll get when you're playing on the road. Throw back. Moreno back in plenty of time.
Moreno dove back and gets a belt full of dirt, diving back into first base. But if I were Steinwald, I'd focus on Taylor. That's where your trouble is right now. Taylor reached on an error his last at-bat.
The 1-0 pitch. Another one called a ball.
The fastball up a little bit, and the check swing goes the way of Taylor. Steinwald, it could have gone either way from my vantage point. I don't know what you saw on the monitor.
And another throw back, this time a little quicker. But Moreno back just in time. That was a little too close for comfort.
Eric Thompson, the base umpire, is out there at second base. He's the last guy on the field looking into the sun.
As a 2-0 pitch to Taylor is inside. There goes Moreno for second. Little bit of a pirate play. He comes home. And he's out. Got him on the stomach, went on the slide in. So a little bit of a wasted opportunity. I don't know why Clark came home.
Now, Kavanaugh set up the double steal. Moreno took off from first. The throw down was in perfect position, but the shortstop, Rafael Valera, immediately turned it back and came home, and Bracamonte blocked off the plate. And there was nowhere for Don Andre Clark to go, and he tried a big wide hook slide, but he was never anywhere near home plate.
Ooh, there's that cool slow-mo showing a pick back that Moreno got in safely. As now the pitch to Taylor, swing, and caught at the wall in right field. Oh, my. He almost got all of it, but just misses it by feet. But on the play, Moreno will tag up from second base and go on to third.
Doesn't it always work that way? Guy gets out on a throw down at home plate, and then the next batter would have knocked him in. The very next pitch from the batter.
So now here comes Gillespie. The Diamonds lead 2-0. 2 outs here in the bottom of the third, as Gillespie will try to cut that lead in half.
Well, you mentioned earlier that baseball is a big chess match, and that's exactly what you have right here. The double steal didn't work, and the very next pitch would have sacrificed in Don Andre Clark. And the Pacifics would have been set up with just 1 out, but now nobody in and 2 down. But the Pacifics still have a runner at third.
The first pitch to Gillespie is a ball down low. Try to get him fishing on the first pitch, but Gillespie wasn't going to bite. Pacifics could really use that runner from third to score, especially when their pitcher capsulated a little bit of momentum with a 1-2-3 inning, and Gillespie will foul it back. 1 ball, 1 strike. So Steinwald trying to keep his sheet clean for today, but Gillespie has other things on his mind.
Gillespie's 1 for 1 on the night. He stroked one into right field back in the first.
The 1-1 pitch in the dirt, blocked beautifully by Bracamonte behind the plate to hold Moreno at third base.
You got 60 feet between home plate and the backstop here at Albert Park, and if Bracamonte doesn't stay in front of that breaking ball in the dirt, the Pacifics score there very easily.
So 2 balls, 1 strike to Gillespie. as Steinwalt 1 out away from working out of a jam. And the pitch. That's a ball outside. Gillespie seeing Steinwalt well and one of the only batters to do so. Worked a 3-1 count and stroked a base hit. The 3-1 pitch. That's ball 4 down low. So now the Pacifics have him cornered for the second time in the inning, but this time hoping for a different result.
Yeah. Well, you're not going to get Aaron Miles on a double steal, obviously. Matt Cavanaugh found that one out the hard way.
So now here comes Javion Randall. He leads the team in batting average with 426. And this is a great time for him to raise that batting average a little. If it needed it anymore.
Well, he walked back in the first. And I have a feeling that Steinwalt knows that Javion Randall is likely to hit the ball hard.
Having a great year thus far.
He leads the Pacific Association with that 4.26.
426 is no small feat. The first pitch of the at-bat. Ooh, good fastball. Call a strike.
Can you imagine he opened him up with something like that? That had to be a mistake. I think Steinwalt got away with something. To throw one there to Javion Randall, asking for trouble.
The 0-1 pitch from Steinwalt is a high chopper.
That'll do it.
That'll find a hole and hit outfield grass. Moreno will score, and Gillespie will hold at second base. And sometimes 426 comes with a little bit of luck. That's exactly what happened there. It is 2-1.
Javion Randall comes through, gets his 15th RBI of the season, and just high popped one over the second baseman, Yuki Yasuda. There was nothing that the Diamonds could do. By the time the ball got to the outfielder, Rando Moreno had already crossed home plate and cut the lead in half.
So now with 2 outs here in the bottom of the third, and still a runner in scoring position, Zach Files will come in as Gillespie, the runner at second base, represents the tying run. As Steinwalt delivers the first pitch of the at-bat in the dirt. Great block by Bracamonte, saving 90 feet.
Bracamonte's, he might need some new elastic strapping on that face mask. It's come off so many times tonight.
Gillespie with the advantage of getting the takeoff on anything put into play with 2 outs in the inning. As Steinwalt's pitch is up and away. Diamonds 2, Pacifics 1, bottom of the third. Ethan Estrada, Stuart Horn. Trying to put some good luck into this one. 2-1, Diamonds. The 2-0 pitch is swinging a ground ball, but right there's the shortstop Valera, who bobbles it again, but he recovers in plenty of time to get Randall at second base. So that will end the inning. So for the Pacifics in the inning, 1 run, 2 hits, 2 runners left on, but they cut the score in half, and that's the big thing. We will be back after this with more live coverage of San Rafael Pacific's 2018 baseball season here on CMCM TV.
Top of the 4th inning, everybody. You can see my new sidekick is here. This is Max. Max is alongside. Max, where do you go to school?
I go to Redwood High School.
All right. Budding broadcaster, part of CMCM and the Pacific's outreach to the community and give young budding broadcasters an opportunity to give it a go. So Max is going to sit in for 3 innings and do a little color commentary. Wes Wallace, the hitter for the Diamonds. It's a 2-1 ball game. Pacific scored 1 there in the bottom of the third. Wallace ahead in the count 2-0, and he swings at a fastball, and it's 2-1. It'll be Wes Wallace followed by Gabriel Bracamonte and Rafael Valera. Here in the top of the 4th inning, Wallace has a little pop. as he swings across something off speed. 2-2. You play baseball, Max?
I used to, yeah. Santa Fe Little League.
All right. I did too. Played Santa Fe Little League. In fact, we played out on that field in center field many years. This is chop third base side and foul. What position did you play?
I was always outfield.
Okay. Wes Wallace standing in at 227 hitter, a fly ball to center field to end things back in the first. And here we are in the top of the fourth inning. Koenig still out on the hill, the big left-hander. Deals in the dirt a breaking ball. A check swing, and he did not go around. And now the count is full. This is the first time tonight that Koenig has gone full. Bracamonte on deck. Wes Wallace, a 2-2-7 batter. And he got him right down the middle as Wallace made the motion there, Max, to flip the bat back to the dugout. But I think he knew in his heart of hearts that that was a perfect pitch. And strike three, that is the fifth strikeout of the night for Koenig. Koenig's bringing it pretty well tonight, huh?
Yeah, he's just dealing right now. He had a little issues earlier on in the game, but he settled down a lot. He had a 1-2-3 inning last inning, and it looks like he settled down quite a bit.
One down, Gabriel Bracamonte the batter. 1 for 1 on the night, a run scored. He had a single into left in the second inning to lead things off. Came around to score, takes high for a ball. 1-0. Rafael Valera is on deck. Popped him up first base side. Taylor's on the run. Taylor's there, and he's got it, 2 away. Those pop-ups that look like they're going to get out of play always seem to spin back toward the field. With 2 down, Rafael Valera makes his way to the hitting area. Hey, Kim Lafrano's in the house. She's one of the voices of the Pacifics. When you listen to the Pacifics radio and you hear the ads, which I'm sure you guys have done a lot, you hear Kim Lafrano all over the place. She's here right now. She has one of the most beautiful voices you've ever heard. That's why they have her do the ads. Right across the knees, 1 ball on Valera. She's been with the Pacifics for several years. This is my 7th year with the Pacifics. Can you believe that, Max? High fastball is taken 1-1.
Yeah, that's quite a career right there.
2-0, I should say, not 1-1. Back in 2012, I did all of the radio broadcasts. 2012, 13, and 14. Long fly ball left field. Don Andre Clark to his right at the base of the wall, looking up. It's off the base of the wall. Rafael Valera is around second on his way to third. Here's the throw in. He'll make it standing the second stand-up triple of the night for the Diamonds. Rafael Valera just hammered one off the base of the wall with 2 down. He almost launched it out of here, Max, but there's just not enough wind to carry the ball.
Yeah, that's the second ball that's been so close tonight. And, placement's been everything, though. That's the second ball that just the fielders can't get to in the outfield. Just so close.
There was just no way Don Andre Clark was going to be able to get to it. And the Pacifics got lucky that the ball stayed in the park. Hey, the Drake is here in the telecast booth. Wow. You got Kim Lafrano and the Drake. All the celebrities in the stadium are here at one time. Valera, the runner at third base, and Steven Javier is hitting and is ahead in the count 2-0. Austin Fraker is on deck. 2 down here in the top of the fourth inning where the score is 2-1. Pacifics trail. Koenig deals across the belt, a called strike. 2-1. Steven Javier batting .273. 1 bomb and 2 driven, and he just kind of fists one first base side toward Jane's First Base Cafe and out of play. It's 2-2. Javier batting .273 coming into tonight's action. Went down swinging back in the second inning. Here's the 2-2, first base side. Diving in front of it is Brill, and he can't hold on to it. And scoring on the play easily is Valero. And it's a 3-1 ball game. Well, Brill had it. He got in front of it. It just came off of him, and he just couldn't quite handle it. He was back in the grass and sliding around. And I think 7 out of 10 times he makes that play.
Now batting for the Diamonds, third baseman.
So Stephen Javier is aboard with an RBI. That will be his third RBI this season. And here's Austin Fraker. Hit into a 5-4-6 pickle play. An RBI back in the second and reached base of the fielder's choice on the same play. Takes a breaking ball for a called strike. Brett Smith is on deck. 2 down, 1 in. 3-1 Pittsburgh here in the fourth. 306 batter is Fraker, and he swings at high cheese. How was your batting, Max? You a good hitter?
I was always just a kid who would draw a walk and then run as fast as he could.
All right. 306 batter is Fraker in the 9-hole. Behind in the count, 0-2. And here's a breaking ball. And this just pops over our heads here in the opulent CMCM telecast booth. And the count remains 0-2. Smith is on deck on the top of the fourth inning. Koenig at 2-0 record with a 1.47 ERA. Big left-hander. Javier at the runner at first base. And something off speed is taken, 1-2. Fifth pitch of the at-bat coming up for Koenig. There's a good view from third base looking over to Jake Taylor guarding the bag at first. And the fastball is a little bit high, 2-2. Stephen Javier, the runner at first base. Rafael Valera, after the stand-up triple, the second triple of the night, scored on the previous play, and this is chopped foul third base line. Seventh pitch of the at-bat coming up for the 9-hole batter, Austin Fraker. He's a third baseman for the visiting Diamonds. Koenig's thrown a lot of pitches. We're just in the fourth inning. Looks the runner back and comes home. And there's another breaking ball, and this is fouled third base side toward the 4 Points Beach Club. Cooled off a lot. First pitch at 70 degrees. I think it's 60 at the highest right now. It's a slight breeze. Here's the 2-2. Very high and it's full. Koenig started things off. It was looking very promising earlier in the top of the fourth. A strikeout to Wallace and then a pop-up to Bracamante, but then a stand-up triple and a run scored for Valero. Stephen Javier, the runner at first, and now he gets Austin Fraker to swing at a high fastball to end things, but not before the Diamonds score 1 run on 1 hit and extend their lead. It's 3-1. We'll go bottom 4. It'll be the 7-8-9 batters for Matt Kavanaugh's Pacifics, Mark Lindsay, Aaron Brill, and Jesus Galando. We'll have it for you right here on our continued coverage on CMCM's coverage of the 2018 San Rafael Pacifics. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody, to the bottom of the fourth inning. 3-1 ball game. Pacific's trailing. Right here on CMCM's coverage of the 2018 San Rafael Pacifics. Our next telecast will be 2 nights from now. We'll be back right here. Max will be here. Ethan will be here. And our new guy on the staff, and that's Jake, and he's coming up a little later. First pitch to Mark Lindsay. Drops in the gap in left center field for a base hit. Lindsay got a good piece of it there, Max, but not enough to get out of here, but enough to put him aboard for his first hit of the night.
Yeah, that's on the tail of the game, just placement of the ball. There's been a lot of balls just hit in between outfielders, in between infielders, as well as errors, and that really shows.
Yeah, it's good when you hit the ball where fielders aren't.
Exactly.
So with a man on, Nobody out in the bottom of the fourth inning. In a 3-1 ball game, Aaron Brill makes his way to the hitting area. Strikeout victim last time back in the second inning. Steinwalt struck out in order Lindsey, Brill, and Galando. A very quick second. But this time Lindsey powers it into the gap in left center, and now he's got to deal with Brill, the 8-hole hitter. First pitch, and Brill's taking all the way. A fastball for a strike. 3-1 Diamonds. Diamonds, who are in a tie for third place on a 2-game winning streak, are 7-9. Pacific's 10-6. Just a few percentage points behind the Vallejo Admirals, who were 10-5. Brill behind in the count, 0-1. Steinwald deals. Could be 2. Short chopper over to Valera at short. On the back end, he couldn't make the throw as Javier couldn't handle the hook. So they get the lead runner, Mark Lindsay, 6 to the covering 4. But the throw from Yasuda was in the dirt, and Brill is aboard, and they'll call it a fielder's choice as a result. But really, it was just a terrible throw from Yuki Yasuda at second base. Here's Galindo. A strikeout victim is one at-bat earlier in the second. Currently in the bottom of the fourth inning with Don Andre Clark on deck. Galindo with one down and a man on. Takes low. A 200-hitter Galindo in the 9-hole has just one driven in. And if he's going to get one more right here, he's going to have to work for it. He's got Brill over at first base, who's taking a pretty gigantic secondary lead, and now a snap throw over to first base. And Brill scurries back to the bag safely. I think the Pacific's, Max, got a break that Yasuda's throw to first on the back end of that double play was in the dirt.
Yeah, that was pretty generous. That was a pretty routine double play, and the fact it was in the dirt really gifted them that base runner.
Yeah, it got to Valero very quickly over at short, and he just underhanded it. And Yasuda, they practiced that play all day long, and it was not a professional throw. Next pitch is very high, and it's 2-0. Galindo way ahead in the count now, 3-0. Now, in Little League at 3-0, the manager would never have you swing at a 3-0, but at this level, I got to believe Galindo's probably thinking about it. It's still early enough in the game. And maybe he's going to very closed-off stance, and he takes a high fastball for a called strike, and now it's 3-1. And he was not swinging. There's no question. He was taking all the way. Here's a 3-1. Steinwald. Now all of a sudden he's locating beautifully on the outside, blank taken, and now it's full. Just the third batter of the night to go full. Check it for those of you keeping score. Fourth batter of the night to go full. Because those kinds of stats matter. Galindo's second at-bat of the evening. And he fouls it back to the screen. Boy, that came off of the Albert Park backstop, which part of it is cement. But he fouled it away and hit the cement part, not the padded part. So the seventh pitch of the at-bat is coming up. And this is turning into a real duel between Tyler Steinwalt, the pitcher, and Jesus Galando for the Pacifics, a first-year man with San Rafael. Galando breaks his bat as he fouls it off the backstop. No, I thought it sounded like he broke his bat, but he's not looking for a new piece of wood.
Yeah, it definitely sounded like one that would, if not broken the bat, at least hurt your hands a bit. That sting
yeah,
in the bat.
Yeah, and it's getting cold enough out here that it might sting a little bit if you catch one off the fist. Galindo really crowding the plate. See if we can't get that center field view. There it is. He is way up in the batter's box. And he chops one third base side. Matt Kavanaugh over there in the third base coach's box almost had a play on it. Kavanaugh, of course, played 2 years for the Pacifics, been the manager for 4. The only year he wasn't here in San Rafael was 2012, the inaugural season when the Pacifics won it all, the first of their 3 titles. 2, 4, 6, 7. 8th pitch coming up. This is a heavyweight battle. Breaking ball is taken, and he walked him. It was just a little low. What a good eye from Galano. Boy, that looked good for a long time, Max.
Oh, yeah, that was definitely a quality at bat. It started off 3-0, and, it looked like it was going to be a quick walk, but, yeah, it just turned into quite a pitcher-batter duel, which, yeah, ended up in the walk. Some good eye and good bat control, though.
When you start off 3-0, and then you go 9 pitches.
Yeah, that's crazy.
A lot of foul balls, a lot of good looks. Galando at first, Brill at second. 1 down, and here is the top of the order in Don Andre Clark. Clark is 0 for tonight. He reached base. An error back in the 3rd inning on Austin Fracker at third base. And then was caught on a double steal back at home plate. Takes high, 1-0. 1 down, 2 on. The Pacific's moving into the heart of the order where they've just got a bunch of heavy hitters. Steinwalt looks the runner back to second. Don Andre lifts one, foul, third base side. 1-1. We're in the bottom of the 4th, everybody. It's a 3-1 ball game. Pacific's lone run came back in the 3rd. And they'd like to follow that up right here. Moreno is on deck. But for now, it's the .339 hitting Don Andre Clark. First-year man with San Rafael. Well, San Rafael's got a bunch of new guys. Fastball is lifted. Left field. O'Donnell's there. He's got it. And it was not deep enough to get anybody over. So an unproductive out for Don Andre Clark, and here's Rando Moreno with 2 away.
Now batting for your Pacifics, sponsored by Above the Rest Builders. Number 16.
Rando Moreno is 1 for 2 on the night. He reached and scored the only run of the night for the San Rafaels back in the 3rd. After a chopper to Yuki Yasuda was muffed. They didn't give Yasuda an error on the play, but Yasuda booted it, and Moreno reached and then ended up scoring the only run for the San Rafaels. Moreno takes low, 1-0. Jake Taylor is on deck. 2 down, 2 on. The 5th batter here in the bottom of the 4th. Steinwald looks Brill back to second. He popped him up. Yasuda calls for it. In comes Valera at short. And that's how it ends as Valera takes it on the pop-up to 6. Well, the Pacifics had something going there, Max. They just couldn't muster any runs across the plate.
Well, that's kind of been the tail of the game. They've had a lot of opportunities to score, just haven't really capitalized on any of them yet. And hopefully they turn around in this back half of the game.
Well, we have reached the halfway point. As we go to the top of the 5th inning, it'll be Brett Smith, Yuki Yasuda, and Patrick O'Donnell for the visiting Diamonds. Right here on CMCM's coverage of the 2018 San Rafael Pacifics. We'll be right back. Top of the 5th, everybody.
Off for Pittsburgh, number 6.
Down here at Albert Park in San Rafael, it is a perfect night for baseball. If you love baseball, it's a perfect night to be here. Stuart Horn, Max, what's your last name?
Leone.
Max Leone, my trusty sidekick for the middle innings. The first pitch to the leadoff batter, Brett Smith, is taken And he's ahead in the count 2-0. It'll be Smith, Yasuda, and O'Donnell. Max Leone, your first time on television?
It is, yes.
All right. Well, you're doing great. Smith hammers one toward third, and this is booted by the Pacific's third baseman, Zach Files. It came off of his hip, his left hip, as he was moving toward shortstop. But Smith is aboard with a single. And here's Yuki Yasuda. We hit that very hard. Hit a 2-0 fastball from Koenig. And absolutely hammered it. You don't get too many past Zach Files at third base. Pacific's all alone in second place of that 10-6 record. It's a half game behind Vallejo. Yasuda, who walked back in the first with a run scored, then a strikeout in the third. Batting .276. And there's a fastball across the knees and taken to the Diamond second baseman. Well, it shows no count. But, of course, that last pitch was a strike as he squares and takes across the knees. And it shows on the scoreboard the count is inverted. Not the scoreboard, the CMCM scoreboard. Well, that shows nothing. That shows 1-0. But, in fact, it's 1-1. Patrick O'Donnell is on deck. And a snap throw over to first base. And Smith is back in safely. 1-1 to our CMCM director. Working the graphics. There we go. Thank you. Yasuda stands in and hammers one towards short. Moreno cannot get to it, and it gets all the way out into left field. Consecutive base knocks sets the table for Patrick O'Donnell, the three-hole hitter. O'Donnell had a triple back in the first with an RBI. A stand-up triple, I might add, at the base of the wall in left center field back in the first inning. And that really got things going for the Diamonds. And now he's got two on and nobody out. And O'Donnell is 1 for 2 on the night. A .290 hitter. 10 RBIs. Joel Carranza is on deck. Koenig's going to have to dig deep here, Max, and get something going. Looks runner back to second. And he comes home. O'Donnell takes in the dirt. Lindsay, the catcher for the Pacifics, gets in the way of it to keep the runners from advancing. 1-0. O'Donnell batting just under 300. Coming into tonight's game. Smith, the runner at second. Yasuda at first. Jared Koenig deals a little two-seamer on the outside, Black. Taken for a strike, 1-1. A 1.47 ERA. Though he's given up 3 earned so far tonight. 3 runs on 6 hits, 1 error for the Diamonds. Oh, something off speed is taken high, 2-1. 1 run, 5 hits, 2 errors for the Center Fells. A sloppy baseball out of Center Fell tonight, a little bit defensively. Not a ton of offense. And that combo will not win you a lot of games. Luckily, we've got half a game to go. Fouled back to the parking lot.
Yeah, it's been kind of a weak defensive game on both sides. A lot of errors on both sides.
Yeah, it seems like it. Even though 3 errors are officially registered on the scoreboard, it seems like there's been a couple more that maybe, well, we have to go all the way back to the first inning when there, one way or another, Big Jake Taylor reached second base, and we never did figure out. It wasn't registered as a hit, nor was it registered as an error. And a breaking ball gets O'Donnell swinging for the first out of the top of the 5th inning. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8th strikeout tonight for Koenig. So he's dealing.
Yeah, he's doing his best. A lot of the outs have come from strikeouts, but when he's not getting the strikeouts, the ball is definitely getting put in play. Runners are getting on base.
Here's Joel Carranza, and Koenig's going to have his hands full with Carranza. Although Carranza struck out twice tonight. And not having one of a Carranza-esque season, not so far. Big right-handed hitter. And stepping off, Koenig wants to reset and rethink everything. It was a good idea. Carranza takes a low strike. Nothing in one. Wes Wallace is on deck. Carranza, just 3 RBIs so far this season. No long balls for the DH. Big curveball is taken away, 1-1. Carranza, back in the 3rd, ended things as he swung over the top of a breaking ball. Sure Koenig remembers. It was a fastball, his chopped third base line and foul. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Well, all the lights are on. All the light standards here at Albert Park. Nice and bright. Set up with all new bulbs in the off season. That's nice. Albert Park is absolutely pristine tonight. Just a slight breeze. Fastball is back to the screen. And we'll do it again. 1-2. 5th pitch of the at-bat coming up to Joel Carranza. 64 degrees currently in downtown San Rafael. Well, it feels cooler than that. Wallace on deck. Koenig looks a runner back to second and a breaking ball, and Carranza fouls it off of his left foot. That's got to feel good. Nice and cool out here, and fouls it right off of the lead foot. Right-handed batter. And he wears the protective apparatus on his left ankle, but he still managed to catch himself on the top of the foot. And judging by the way he danced around, wincing in pain, it looked like it felt really good. Count remains 1-2. Smith at second, and he gets him with the fast ball. Carranza strikes out for the 3rd time tonight.
And yeah, he seemed a little late on that swing, kind of a half-hearted swing. I think he knew it was probably a strike and didn't want to go down looking, but yeah, kind of a half-hearted effort on that last swing.
Yeah, it's a good call. He was not committed. I don't think he was sitting fastball. I think he was sitting breaking ball. He just tipped it right into the glove of Mark Lindsay. And here's Wes Wallace. 0 for 2, a fly ball and a strikeout for Wallace, a .227 hitter, and a fastball across the knees. And Koenig all of a sudden seems to have new life. 1 strike on Wallace, the 5-hole hitter with Gabriel Bracamani on deck. Koenig would like to end it right here. Top of the 5th inning. It's a 3-1 ball game. Koenig, the big lefty, steps off. Oh, little slider has Wallace swinging over the top of it. And very quickly, Koenig is ahead in the count, 0-2. Ooh, now the breeze picks up. Told you guys, bring a sweater. It gets cold here fast in the opulent broadcasting area, not the hitting area. I bet it's cold down in the hitting area as well. Koenig steps off. Ahead in the count, Jared Koenig with that 1.47 ERA. Here's the 0-2. Oh, and he got him with a big bender. Well, Koenig ends things with 3 strikeouts consecutively. No runs on 1 hit, as the Pacifics have 1 error in the half inning, but no harm done. It is a 3-1 ball game, and it's going to be Jake Taylor, Brent Gillespie, and Javion Randall when we come back here on CMCM's coverage of the 2018 San Rafael Pacific's Bottom 5 coming up in just a moment. Welcome back, everybody, to CMCM's coverage of the 2018 San Rafael Pacifics. Just to remind you, if you're just tuning in, our next telecast will be 48 hours from now, Thursday night, this Thursday night. What about that? That would be the 21st. Pacifics baseball, 7:05, first pitch. We'll be on at 7.
Leading off for your Pacifics, sponsored by
Here's Jake Taylor.
number 8, Big Jake Taylor.
Big Jake is one of those guys that everybody in the stadium likes to, whatever they're doing, they're going to stop and watch his AB. Taylor is batting .350. 1 bomb and 5 driven in. And Taylor takes upstairs, and it was so high it got over the top of Bracamane. 1-0. Brent Gillespie's on deck. We're in the bottom of the 5th in this 3-1 affair. Across the knees, a called strike. Both starters are still in there. Steinwalt with that 2.07 ERA. Both pitchers 2-0. Taylor 1-1, waves at a breaking ball. 1-2. Bottom 5 in a 3-1 ball game. Taylor is 0 for tonight. He reached base back in the first inning, an error on the shortstop, Rafael Valera. And a fly ball to right field in the 3rd. Taylor is statistically due. Curveball is taken. 2-2. Taylor's just one of those exciting hitters. He's been with the club now 3 or 4 seasons. And it seems like he's one of those guys that produces when he needs to.
Yeah, he was pretty close today. That earlier fly out, that was just a couple feet away from the fence. Yeah, it was close.
Yeah, absolutely. Taylor's got a ton of power, and there's absolutely no wind as the American flag in right field is limp against the post. And he strokes one, a line drive to Valero at short. And just like that, Jake Taylor is the first out of this, the bottom of the 5th. He stroked it right at the shortstop. Valero took one step to his left and speared it.
Yeah, heck of a play from the shortstop. He's been having some trouble today, but yeah, that was a pretty good line drive catch.
Taylor hit it hard.
Yeah.
Nothing to show for it. Here's Brent Gillespie. Gillespie had a single back in the 1st and then a walk in the 3rd. Javion Randall's on deck, 1 down. Gillespie takes a big bender for a strike. Unhittable. Absolutely unhittable. Steinwalt dealing. When he gets that curveball working, just forget it. 1 strike on him. There it is again, but a little low in the zone, 1-1. That's the thing about the big curveball. It's hard to make it work. What you don't want to do is lay it right across a good hitter's belt. 1-1. Gillespie takes another 3 breaking balls in a row and a called strike on the inside black. 1 ball and 2 strikes. A fastball upstairs is chopped toward first. Javier's got it, and he goes to the bag. 1 down.
I believe that's actually the 2nd down, right?
What's that?
I believe that's the second out.
For your Pacific.
2 down, that's correct.
Two
Javier had it. He underhanded it to the covering Steinwalt. 3 to the covering 1. So here's Javion Randall. Randall on the evening is, let's see. He walked back in the first inning, was stranded at first base after a base knock in the third to right field. So with 2 down, nobody on, bottom 5. Pacific's kind of quiet as a mound visit from Bracamonte. We're going to have another student broadcaster in the 6th inning as Jake Moles from Dominican is going to join us.
Our radio broadcaster, Forrest Hunt. Forrest yesterday turned 47 years old.
Yeah.
Doesn't he look in great
They're
shape?
recognizing
47-year-old. Happy
the
birthday, Forrest.
Pacific's broadcaster, Forrest Hunt, whose birthday was yesterday. Also a Dominican guy. It was his 19th birthday, not his 47th. Mark Carlson being funny up there. Javion Randall stands in. Outside black of the fastball taken. Boy, that just is backdoor and barely came back in against the right-handed batting Javion Randall. 0-1. Files is on deck, and there's a little splitter just on. Again, he stayed away, and it very quickly. Steinwald ahead in the count, 0-2. Randall did have a hit his last at-bat. He went opposite field, and this one he chops toward third. Picked up on one hop by Fracker. Long throw.
Wow.
And the tie goes to the runner as Javion Randall beats it out. The long throw from deep in the hole, and Fracker just couldn't put enough on it.
Yeah, heck of a base running effort right there. Didn't give up on the play. Yeah, just some extremely good hustle.
Boy, that goes to show you. The tie goes to the runner on that play, and
Yeah, that was definitely a bang play right there.
my opinion would have been fine if it had been called out by the base umpire Eric Thompson, who's done a ton of games out here. Thompson, in fact, has a big league career that extends decades, but as it turns out, Thompson called him safe, and you know, either way, I don't think I'd argue. That's how close it was. Here's Zach Files.
Yeah, it's definitely just a difficult play to call, just right off the bat. Yeah.
1-0 to Files, who's 0 on the evening. A strikeout in the first. Chopped it over to short. Valera took it the short way himself to the second base bag for the force to end things back in the third. 2 down and 1 on. Files takes 2-0. Mark Lindsay is on deck here in the bottom of the 5th. A 2-0 ball. Let's see here. It's a 3-1 ball game. A 2-0 count with 2 down. Pacific's just a half a game out of first place. They want this game badly. They're just going to have to play better in the second half of the game than they did in the first half. They were lucky to muster the 1 run. Files takes 3-0. Steinwald's gone from looking great to not being able to find the strike zone at all, and he walked him on 4 pitches.
Yeah, that's just a lack of command right there. Yeah, especially this late in the game, it's starting to see that pitch count adding up a lot, you know, losing control of his pitches.
Randall over to second base, Files to first. And now the Pacifics have a runner in scoring position. And here's Mark Lindsay, who's 1 for 2 on the night. A single back in the 4th inning. His last AB, and a strikeout back in the 2nd. Lindsay batting .267 coming into tonight's action. 2 down and 2 on. A fastball indoors, and Lindsay buckled and took for a strike, and he's surprised at the call by Dean Petit. But A great pitch is a great pitch, and a great pitch has the batter totally flummoxed. And that's what you had right there. 0-1 on Lindsay, who takes now outside a breaking ball. Blocked by Bracamonte. Boy, the catching tonight has just been stellar on both sides.
Yeah, it definitely has. Very few balls have gotten by any of the catchers. Great defensive plays on both ends.
1-1, and on that block that could have been disaster for the Diamonds, Pacific's, neither of the runners could advance. 1-1 now to Mark Lindsay. Up and in, and some of the fans meant I could hear him mumbling that it got him, but Lindsay does not run down to first. So it must have just barely missed him. 2-1. Aaron Brill is on deck. 7-hole hitter Mark Lindsay with a chance to bring the Pacifics within 1. He's got a runner in scoring position out at second base. And he hammers one. A line drive to Yasuda at second base, who makes the play, and Lindsay goes down a line drive to 4 to end things. Well, the Pacifics had him in scoring position. They just couldn't get him across. The score remains 3-1. It'll be Bracamonte, Rafael Valera, and Steven Javier when we come back in the top of the 6th inning. 3-1 Pittsburgh on CMCM's coverage of the 2018 San Rafael Pacifics. All right, everybody. Well, you can see to my right, my new trusty sidekick is Jake.
Evening, sports fans. I'm happy to be working with Stu yet again. I had a long history with baseball in one way or another, but I've never been on the production side, so this is exciting.
All right. Well, we're glad to have you in.
I'm glad to be here.
Good job by Ethan and.
Yeah, I'm following two supreme acts.
That's right. Max, he was pretty good. So Here we go. We're in the top of the 6th inning where the score remains 3-0 in favor of the visiting Diamonds. Batting for the Diamonds is Gabriel Bracamonte. He's 1 for 2 on the night. And he pops up shallow left.
Can of corn over there.
Going out as Zach Files, and making the catch is the shortstop, Rando Moreno. That's a long run for Moreno, as it turns out. I think it would have been an easier play for the left fielder, Javion Randall, but Moreno called him off, and Randall gave way.
Felt like working.
So Bracamonte is gone. A fly ball to 7. 1 away. Rafael Valera, who is 2 for 2 tonight with a run scored. Had a stand-up triple back in the 4th inning, right off the base of the wall. That everybody, most people in the park thought it was out of here.
I definitely thought he was going yard on that one.
Valera, batting .263 coming into tonight's action. Leads the team with 16 RBIs. Takes a strike. Here in the top of the 6th. It's a 3-1 ball game. Look at that. What is that, a waning gibbous? A flash on the moon.
Let's see.
And a check swing.
Where are you looking?
Well, they had it on the screen.
Might be waxing.
Might be. The 0-2 is fouled back to the screen. I'm not sure if it got...
Nice catch in the dugout there.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah.
I heard the fans mumbling, but I didn't know if it got caught in the screen or what happened to it.
We need that in the outfield, though.
Yeah. 0-2 from Koenig. Big bender.
Jeez.
First base side, and that's going to get down for extra bases. Around first on his way to second is Valera. And now he's going to go for the 3rd triple of the night. And Valera is in 3 triples in one game. This one standing, as the others were as well. That's his 2nd triple of the night, as he roped it all the way to the wall in deep right field, right down the line. And it got down. Valera, who already has a triple and a run scored, is now 3 for 3 on the night, but 2 triples. Now, in literally hundreds of Pacific's games, Jake, I cannot remember consecutive triples by any one player. I've seen a lot of crazy stuff here at the ballpark. It's 7 years of Pacific's baseball. I'm trying to think back through my memory banks. I'm going through it like crazy right now as we have some sort of stoppage on the field.
Well, I think they thought it was so unbelievable they sent him all the way back to second.
So as it turns out, as Dean Poteet, the home plate umpire, as you can see, he'll be coming into your screen in just a moment. He is now talking to Aaron Miles, the manager, just off screen. Koenig is looking at, and now they're going to be entering your view any moment now, fans. And what the argument is, we go back to the picture of the moon, and there's the super close-up.
Waxing.
And as it turns out, it's not a triple. Valera has been called back to second base, although that's what Aaron Miles is arguing, as the ball must have gotten stuck under the base of the fence. So Valera is awarded second base, a double, but called back to second from third. Wonder if they're playing baseball up on the moon tonight. One down. Valera, the runner at second base, and Steven Javier stands in.
It's probably easy to get home runs up there, huh? Up on the moon.
Yeah, it would be 6 times easier.
Some quick math.
And the first pitch is low. But the fences are 6 times as far away.
6 times higher, too.
It seems like you would need extra outfielders because the field would simply be too big.
I think so.
Because I don't think you can run 6 times faster. I have to think about that. Across the knees.
Well, you clear it by jumping, right? Some short hops?
Your guess is as good as mine. 1 away, 2-0. To Steven Javier is batting .273 coming into tonight's action. 1 bomb, 2 driven in. 1 for 2 on the night. Koenig is definitely thinking about Valera, the runner at second base, although nobody's really covering. Every once in a while, Brill sneaks over from second, but nothing serious. Big curve ball is taken. 2-1. Austin Fraker is on deck. Javier, 1 for 2 on the night, waggles the bat back and forth. Another breaking ball, and he swings right over the top of it. And now it's 2-2. And we'll see what Koenig's got up his sleeve. As there's 1 out here and a runner in scoring position. Koenig really can't afford to give up too many more runs here, Jake. I wouldn't think.
Especially not this late in the game.
Fastball, got him looking. And that's the first strikeout of the night for Koenig, looking.
The first. Oh, looking.
2 down, as Koenig has registered 9 now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I was only off by 3. That's the 12th.
The whole quarter.
But the first one looking, as Austin Fraker makes his way to the hitting area. The 306 9-hole hitter Fraker is over tonight.
Hoping to get Valera back in home.
2 down. Valera, the runner at second, as Fraker takes high. 1-0. Brett Smith is on deck. Here in the top of the 6th. There's that curveball. Sharp chopper to third.
Should be easy.
Files has it on the low hop, and Jake Taylor cannot backhand it. The throw home is in time. The head-first slide by Valera is tagged in time. Valera's out. Fraker hit it sharply to third, where Zach Files couldn't handle the throw. Well, he made the throw. Taylor really couldn't handle the backhand. It got away from him, but Koenig heads up, comes off the mound, and throws a perfect strike to Lindsay, who blocks off the plate. And Valera went in head first for the 3rd out. And that was something a little too close. And the Pacifics managed to get out of it with very little damage. It'll be the 8-9-1 hitters for San Rafael in the bottom of the 6th. A 3-1 ball game. Aaron Brill, Jesus Galando, and then the top of the order, Don Andre Clark will have it for you when we come back. on the 2018, or let's see, CMCM's coverage of the 2018 Santa Fe Pacifics. Well, the score remains 3-1. Santa Fe trailing. Kind of a scoring drought for both squads at the last inning or two. But the Santa Fe's would like to tie it right here. They go 8-9-1 hitters in Aaron Brill, Jesus Galando, and Don Andre Clark. Get back around to the top of the order. Brill, 0 for tonight, reached on a fielder's choice. Back in the fourth inning and takes a breaking ball.
Brill hoping to get a rally going. Don't want to let this gap get any wider between us and the Diamonds here.
Brill, a 2.69 hitter coming into tonight's action. Ahead in the count 1-0. A fastball is low, and now it's 2-0. Steinwald's looked pretty strong with that 2.07 ERA coming into tonight's game. Only coughed up one so far. Brill has just one RBI on the season. Tough to get RBIs when you lead off an inning, and he fouls it back to the screen, 2-1. Galando is on deck. The 8-hole hitter is Aaron Brill. Brill, a 2-year man with the Pacifics. At second base. Steinwald deals, and he fisted one toward first. Javier's there, one away. A little too easy.
A little too easy. Galano making his way up, though. Gonna bring us back.
Could happen. Galando batting 200 coming into tonight's action. Struck out in the second and walked in the fourth. Here we are in the bottom of the sixth inning, and the Pacifics still have plenty of time. But Galindo.
I think Galindo's open third time's the charm here.
Well, I think all the Pacifics fans in attendance are thinking the same thing. A fastball across the knees is taken for a strike. Don Andre Clark is on deck. Pacifics really want to get to the top of the order. There's a breaking ball that Steinwald pours in for a strike. 0-2. Left-handed batter Galando at the bottom of the order. Wears the hose very high. Stands way back in the box. Here's the 0-2. Indoors and in the dirt. 1-2. Some takes are easier than others. That one seemed to be an easy take. 1-2.
I think even I would have just let that one go.
Perhaps. Steinwald deals, and it's hammered third base line and foul. Fifth pitch of the at-bat coming up. Both pitchers, it seems like, have thrown a lot of pitches, although I don't have an official pitch count.
It's been almost a war of attrition between the two of them.
We'll find out which guy will go first. See how long Steinwald can throw. He's still throwing pretty hard. 0-2 curveball is taken low. 2-2.
Throws it in the dirt right after we talk about his losing my words here.
His great
endurance.
command.
Great
his
command,
endurance. Yeah.
Endurance.
2-2 now to Galando.
Even count.
Another breaking ball is chopped off the plate. Steinwald backhands it.
Oh,
good throw to first, and according to our bases umpire, Eric Thompson, the throw pulled Javier off the bag. So as it turns out, Galando is safe, and the Pacifics have a little something going. Let's see if they give him an error, and they do give him an error. That was an error on the throw on Steinwald. He came off the mound third base side and just took an easy backhand and couldn't even make a decent throw over to first. I mean, it's easier said than done, right? Obviously.
always, but the Pacifics are going to start finding some real hits here. They can't just close these next 2 runs off of a bunch of lucky breaks and errors like that.
Yeah, that's a good point. They'll take it, though. Here's Don Andre Clark.
Beggars can't be choosers.
Clark, 0 for 3 on the night. He reached base on the third in an error, but then was thrown out on a double steal back in the third inning.
It's the 4th time ever the charm.
We'll find out. Clark, the leadoff batter, is batting .339 coming into tonight's action.
Ooh, you heard that one.
And a foul tip back to the screen. Rando Moreno's on deck. 1 down. And Galando, the runner at first base, after the error on the throw by the pitcher, Tyler Steinwalt. Clark has 1 bomb and 7 driven in with Moreno on deck. There's a chopper up the middle and could be 2. Picked up on one hand, underhanded from Valero to Yasuda, but the throw to first is in the dirt. So Clark is aboard at first on a fielder's choice. Galando is thrown out on his way to second base.
Now batting for your Pacifics.
6 to the covering 4. I don't know what happened with Yasuda there, but he couldn't get the ball out of the glove, and when
Threw it straight down.
Yeah, he tried to throw the ball to first base and went right in the dirt straight out of his hand.
Looked like my Little League years.
So Clark is at first base. Here's Rando Moreno with 2 down. Taylor is on deck. And the Pacifics would love to get to Jake Taylor. Moreno batting .265 coming into tonight's action. Third base side and foul and out of play. Way out of here. On to Anderson Drive. Moreno, 10 driven in this season. It is 1 for 3 on the night. A run scored, the sole run for the Center Fells tonight. Thanks to Moreno. Heading the count, or behind in the count, 0-1, and now he takes a breaking ball, and it's 1-1.
Nice even count from Moreno here, hoping to rope one.
.265, 2-hole hitter. Moreno, the sure-handed shortstop for the Center Fells. 1-1. High fastball. Moreno's way behind. 1-2. We're in the bottom of the 6th. 3-1 ball game. Moreno stands in. Breaking ball is low. Whew, boy, that was close. 2-2.
Second chance here.
Don Andre, the Clark, over at first base. Moreno with 2 away. 2-2 count. Runner goes in the dirt. And Bracamonte couldn't handle it.
It's a stolen base for Clark.
And Clark has it stolen. So now Moreno ahead in the count 3-2. One of the few times tonight that Steinwalt has gone full has a runner in scoring position. And Moreno has driven in 10, and that's the 5th steal for Don Andre. Boy, did he choose a good pitch to go on in the dirt, and it had Bracamonte just all locked up. He couldn't get it out of the catcher's mitt.
It's plays like that, and this late in the game, they're going to get the Pacifics back in it, Stu. You got it. You got to take chances.
Well, he certainly chose the right pitch that time.
I don't think he could have picked a better one.
Full count. Rando Moreno stands in with Taylor on deck. Heart of the order awaits. Fastball, and he walked him.
Now, if Clark was on the moon, he could have just jumped over to second from first.
I suppose you're right. 2 on now and 2 down, and here's Big Jake. Taylor on the night, 0 for. Taylor is batting, though, .350 coming into tonight's action. And now a mound visit.
Identified the 4 baseball
Mountain Visit's going to give Taylor just a little bit more time to get himself ready to get Clark and Moreno closer to home plate.
Aaron Miles is going to go out and talk to Steinwalt. And I always like to try and figure out what it is that might be said between a manager and a pitcher in these types of situations. Yeah, because sometimes the infield will come in and join the conversation,
and sometimes they don't. And
well,
you always wonder why. What ones they do and what ones they don't. What's going on?
No, I really don't. But thank you for.
I do sometimes.
Well, the manager makes a sign when he comes out to the infield that suggests we all get together and talk, or you guys just hang back and let me talk to the pitcher.
Clearly I'm not paying attention enough to my older brother's games anymore.
So, as it turns out, he had a quick word. Aaron Miles did with Steinwalt, and I suspect it was something like, "Don't worry about the runners. Get this last out and get us back into the hitting area. Get us back to the plate," which is easier said than done because now he's got to face the baddest batter for the Pacifics, and that's the veteran Jake Taylor, who's statistically due. 2 on and 2 down. Taylor stands in. A fastball across the knees is indoors. 1-0. Brent Gillespie on deck. Taylor at 350, Gillespie at 310, then Javion Randall at 426 hitter. So Steinwalt's got his hands full. 2 on and 2 down. 1-0 breaking ball, and Taylor swings over the top, 1-1. Big curveball. Steinwalt's still getting the curveball, and I've always wondered if the curveball bites harder in the hot air or the warmer air. Of course, it was 70 degrees at first pitch tonight to what it is now, which is closer to high 50s.
We'll do some research on that.
1-1. Fastball is taken, and now it's 2-1. Taylor with a very discerning eye. Reach base back in the first after the shortstop, Rafael Valera, booted it. Ground ball. Then a fly ball to right field, and then a line drive to Valera at shortstop. And he swings at a high fastball, and now it's 2-2. Well, Steinwalt certainly has made a game of it tonight by outthinking the hitters. And this is one of those moments. Will he go with a breaking ball or a changeup? Or will he try to finish him off with the high cheese? I just would never feel comfortable throwing Taylor a high fastball.
Absolutely not.
And we'll see as Taylor steps out. Dean Poteet calls time, our home plate umpire. Big moment in the game. There's always a huge moment, and none bigger so far than this right here. Steinwalt is probably one big knock away from getting yanked. Here's the 2-2. Outside, and it's full. And he did come back with a fastball. And now Matt Cavanaugh over in the third base coach's box is signaling to the runners, holding his hands, both hands above his head, and both in a fist.
This is where Steinwalt is going to make the deciding pitch here. See what he goes with. That he trusts to take Taylor out finally.
Well, he certainly has been able to count on the fastball. His curveball has been working beautifully tonight, but not with the consistency of the fastball. Taylor stands in, count is full, 2 on, 2 down. Here it is. Fastball popped him up first base side. Right over our heads toward Jane's First Base Cafe.
Right into the Budweiser booth.
Wow, and I think it hit the hot dog stand and bounced up and out of play, and a fan got it. So we'll do it again. 7th pitch of the at-bat coming up. Big Jake, the right-handed slugger, stands in. Full count. Taylor just widened the stance. Look at that. It's like 1 foot is on the front of the batter's box, and he walked him with a low fastball. Oh, no, he didn't. The late called strike 3. I thought it was low. Dean Poteet with a late called strike 3, and Taylor has a word with Dean Poteet, throws the helmet, and that'll do it. 6 complete. Well, the Pacifics had a big chance, and it was a big moment. Steinwalt gets out of it, striking out Taylor looking. We'll be back top 7, 3-1 on CMCM's coverage of the 2018 Sanderfeld Pacifics. Oh, welcome back, everybody.
Missed you, Stu.
Thanks. Well, here we are in the 7th inning, everybody. And as you all witnessed, Smith over there at first base. Yuki Yasuda, the batter, here in the 7th. It's a 3-1 ball game. Oh,
Ooh.
Yasuda swings at something way indoors and just caught it off the fingertips.
That was quite the hack.
Yeah, well, sort of half-hearted. Wasn't going to go very far if he did make contact with it. He kind of made contact. But it's 1-1 either way to Yasuda. .276 hitter. Yasuda's 1 for 2 on the night. A strikeout, a single, a walk, and a run scored. A replay of the strikeout is coming, I hear. Which strikeout, I wonder, are they talking about?
Taylor's.
Oh, Taylor's strikeout?
The
Seems like it would be
strikeout of
very
the
late for
night.
that.
This is a little in retrospect here, but
Okay, all right, I guess.
it's new technology. We got to make use of it.
Oh, here it is. Okay, here's Taylor's strikeout and super slow-mo. And, yeah, that's a good point. It was a bad call. Taylor had a good point. He thought he walked. All right, well, there's your instant replay brought to you. Not instantly, though, but in super slow-mo, thanks to CMCM. Yasuda, while that was happening, hacked it a low fastball. And now we're back live.
Our somewhat recent replays
Yeah, it's a recent replay.
here at Albert Park.
Yeah. I don't want to say instant replay because it was certainly not instantly. It was about 8 minutes ago. We
forgot about the strikeout before the replay.
Well,
happened.
that's a good point. 2-2 now to Yuki Yasuda, who stands in. And he takes indoors, and now it's full. And it's getting colder by the minute. Let's just take a quick check here at what's happening.
I'm gonna guess 58. Oh,
I think-
64. It feels like 58
no,
for me.
59. Yeah, that's a good guess.
Ah.
Yeah.
Your
Here's
thumb's a while
Yasuda.
out.
Yep. Yasuda, hands very high, closed stance, and he fouls one that chops off of home plate and then hits him in the knee.
Another way inside swing for Yasuda there. Guess he's hungry.
Well, Brett Smith, the runner at first base, Yasuda, batting .276, I think he's kind of hungry at this point in the game. He'd like to break this thing wide open. It's a 3-1 ball game, and nobody scored in the past 2.5 innings. Just a whole bunch of zeros. Snap throw over to first base. Smith is back in safely, scurrying back to the bag. Yasuda, just 2 RBIs on the season. Feet are just almost touching. They're so close together, and he takes... I thought that was 3-2. Why is Yasuda standing in the box?
The count was definitely full.
And I guess
I'm glad I'm not the only one who's confused there, Stu.
no, it was apparently was called dead by Dean Poteet before the pitch left the hand of Koenig.
Dean Poteet.
That's right. And Yasuda swings at a breaking ball back to the screen.
Count is still full, in case anyone's lost count, because we almost did, it looks like.
8th pitch of the at-bat coming up to second baseman Yuki Yasuda. He steps out in a couple practice swings.
A lot of high pitch counts for these at-bats tonight.
Yeah, later in the game, you're right, as the game's gone on. It does seem like the pitch count, individual batters, numbers have gone way up. Smith down at second base, and he walked him.
Another walk for Yasuda. That doesn't have to work too hard for the on base tonight.
It's like just the second walk tonight issued by Koenig, and both of them to Yasuda. So here's Patrick O'Donnell, who's 1 for 3 on the night, a triple and an RBI back in the first. Pretty quiet since then. 2 on and nobody out here in the 7th. Pacific's trailing in what's turned out to be kind of a pitcher's duel. This game 2 hours and 40 minutes old. High breaking ball as O'Donnell spins away from it. 1-0. Joel Carranza is on deck. The big slugger Carranza.
See if we can speed this game along.
Yeah, it does seem like everything slowed way down.
Way down.
As Koenig deals outside, and now it's 2-0.
A bunch of 0-run innings definitely don't make you feel like the game's going by fast, that's for sure. Couple ones peppered in there, but
fastball is low and away. 3-0 to Patrick O'Donnell. And it looks like there's a ton of action in the Pacific's bullpen. Not much doing down in the Diamonds bullpen. Here's the 3-0. Fastball is dealt across the knees, 3-1. Taking all the way, O'Donnell, the 3-hole hitter. Batting .290 coming into tonight's action. Did pick up his 10th RBI back in the first when he hit the first of 2 stand-up triples tonight. Not both for him. One of the 2. And he rips it into right field. That's going to get down for a base hit. Everybody moves up. And on the play, Smith moves to third base.
bases are
Yasuda
loaded.
to second base. O'Donnell to first base with his second knock of the night. And with the bags jammed, here's Carranza, your 4-hole hitter. And that's just what you want for your DH. And now here comes Matt DeBar, the Pacific's ex-ace and current pitching coach.
Ex-ace, huh?
Yeah, he was a good one. He had a nasty breaking ball. Nick DeBar, pardon me, not Matt DeBar. Nick DeBar. And he's out there now. He's going to talk to Koenig, and this again is one of those moments. What is he saying? How you feeling? He's probably looking into his eyes, because nobody knows better than DeBar that there's a certain look that pitchers get as Dean Poteet has made his way all the way out to the mound to tell DeBar to hurry it up. And usually the home plate umpire doesn't need to climb the mound and become a part of the conversation. But Poteet's really been out there a long time. And Poteet now runs back to assume the position behind home plate.
Backs against the wall for the Pacifics. Bags jammed. 0 outs. Gonna have to make something happen here.
Yeah, and arguably the Diamond's best hitter in Carranza, although he's 0 for 3 tonight. All 3 times he struck out swinging.
Number 7, Joel Carranza.
3 strikeouts for Carranza, who was batting .250 coming into tonight's action. But that number has dropped. But he has a big chance to blow it open right here. Breaking ball in the dirt. Blocked by Lindsay. Taken by Carranza. With Wes Wallace on deck. Nobody out. Here in the 7th. Slashes one foul third base side at breaking ball.
Time is running out for the Pacifics to get some points on the board and stop the Diamonds from getting this run going.
1-1 to Carranza. Has 3 RBIs on the season. He could pick up 3 more right here. A breaking ball. Carranza swings right over the top of it, 1-2, and a brilliant look there by Koenig. Take a lot of guts to throw that pitch, but this is the one that matters. You throw an off-speed breaking ball to a slugger like Joel Carranza. Can he do it again, or is he going to go high cheese? Here it is. He lifted first base line and foul and out of play.
Headed over to the playground.
One ball and 2 strikes. Carranza, a healthy rip at it. Just couldn't keep it in play. Couldn't come around on it fast enough. Here's the 1-2. Fastball, third base side. Files comes home for 1. Back to first. A double play.
That right there is exactly what the Pacifics needed to happen.
Carranza hits into a 5-2-3 double play. And there are 2 down. On the play, Smith was caught on his way to the plate on the force out. Yasuda moves over to third base.
Any other result would have been the unfavorable one right there.
That's right. Sure. Patrick O'Donnell moves over to second base. And on the back end of the double play, Carranza goes down 2 away. Here's Wes Wallace now with runners at second and third. Curveball is outside. 1-0. Gabriel Bracamonte is on deck. Wallace 0 for 3 on the night with a pair of strikeouts. Chopper, third base line, and foul. 1-1. Yeah, it started off a pretty warm day today. Got up to about 75 here in Santa Fe. 70 at first pitch, and now in the 50s. It cools off quickly out here at Albert Park.
I was melting at lunch, that's for sure.
Wallace, 1-1. Fastball, swung on and missed. 1-2. And Koenig's 1 pitch away from getting out of a huge jam where it was bases loaded, nobody out. Now there's 2 on and 2 down. Still no runs across. Koenig deals just outside. And now it's 2-2. Koenig with that 1.47 ERA. It's a 3-1 ball game.
No.
And he gets him swinging as Lindsay drops it, but then heaves it down to first to complete the strikeout. And the Pacifics get out of jail.
By the skin of their teeth.
As it turns out, no runs on 2 hits, no Pacific errors. For the Pacifics in the bottom of the 7th, it'll be Brent Gillespie, Javion Randall, and Zach Files. Bottom 7 coming up, 3-1. San Rafael needs some runs on CMCM's coverage of the 2018 San Rafael Pacifics. We'll be right back. All right, welcome back, everybody. It's the bottom of the 7th inning where the Pacifics still lead by a score of 3-1. Boy, it seems like forever since the Pacifics scored. A new pitcher for the Diamonds is Kane Spangler. A 1-0 record of the 4.65 ERA in 8 games. 9 2/3 innings pitched, 9 strikeouts against 4 walks. Couple of saves for Spangler. Here's Brent Gillespie to lead things off. Spangler deals a breaking ball very high. 1-0. It'll be Gillespie, Randall, and Files.
Steinwald's finally getting a break here. Pitched a good game.
Yeah, he did. Steinwald was pretty good. Spangler, now a fastball, just blows it past Gillespie. 1-1. Opened him up with a big bender and follows it up with some low heat. A 3-1 ball game. Nobody scored now in 4.5 innings. There's a breaking ball in the dirt, and Spangler was not close. 2-1.
Spangler getting a talk.
What's that?
Spangler getting a talk up there.
Well, already, yeah, Dean Petit's already telling him something about his delivery that he may have noticed. Sometimes the umpires will have a quick word with the pitcher, especially a new guy that comes in, relative to his motion or whether or not he's come set out of the stretch.
Spangler, of course, still getting warmed up after leaving Steinwaltz.
And Spangler deals another fastball, but a little bit high, and now it's 3-1. Yeah, if you're going to pitch from the stretch, you got to come set and stop completely in your motion. And I have a feeling that's what Dean Petit said. And a long fly ball to deep center field. Backing up on it is Wallace at the wall. And it's out of here!
You can tell it goodbye.
Gillespie with a home run over the center field wall.
That is the shot in the arm that the Pacifics needed here right now.
A 3-2 ball game.
Finally
That is Gillespie's 4th home run of the season, his 17th RBI.
On the season, home run number 4 for Gillespie.
Well, Spangler comes in and coughs up the big bomb.
Number 3, Javion
finally put some more points on the board. Randall definitely thinking that he's going to keep this rally going, get the Pacifics pumped up.
Javion Randall from the right side takes low, 1-0. Zach Files is on deck. Randall with a couple of base knocks tonight. He walked back in the first, then an opposite field shot into right in the third, and then he went right over the third baseman back in the fifth and takes up and in. And now it's 2-0. Well, Gillespie with a shot in the arm, as Jake mentioned. Big shot for the Pacifics over the left center field wall. Wes Wallace watched it fly. Fastball is chopped foul, 2-1. Well, the last time the Pacifics scored was back in the third inning.
That felt like it was 2 nights ago, Stu.
Yeah, it was a long time ago. The Pacifics couldn't have picked a better time to do it. Heart of the order. Randall batting in the 5-hole now, a 426 hitter. And that number's gone up. That was coming into tonight's action. There's a breaking ball in the dirt. It looked like a knuckleball or something. Well, we haven't seen a lot of knuckleballs or knuckleball throwers here. Not since the great Steve Detweiler, number 15, the center field slugger. And Iri Yoshida, who pitched for the Maui Nikoi Kai Cup in 2012 and 2013. She was a knuckle princess, the only woman that ever played in the Pacific Association. And Javion Randall walks. And now the Pacifics have a little something going. Tyler Steinwald did some pretty good work there for 6 complete.
And not only
Spangler comes in, and the first guy he faces in Brent Gillespie goes yard. And now here's Zach Files with a man on and a man in. Files 0 for tonight. He walked back in the 5th.
Well, not only did Steinwaltz pitch 6 innings, he pitched a lot of pitches in those 6 innings, more than you would think. Long back and forth between the 2 pitchers there at the beginning.
Files has walked 16 times to lead the team. Pacifics could use base runners right now. Start chipping away late in the game. Breaking ball is swung on and missed, and it's 1-1. Mark Lindsay is on deck. Files a 305 batter with 3 bombs, 8 driven in. With that walk back in the 5th, his 16th. And I don't believe any Pacifics player is even close to 16. Files a sure-handed third baseman. Just been a great get for the Pacifics. Curve ball, first base side. One hopper to first. On to second, and The throw was high, and Javion Randall is safe. Although on the play, the throw to Valera, it looked like he dropped it in the exchange. And here comes Aaron Miles. He's going to say the same thing, that he made the catch at second and then dropped it in the exchange from the glove to the throwing hand, which is what it looked like to me, which would mean that Javion Randall, in fact, would have been called out.
It looked the same to me. It looked like he dropped it after the tag there at the end.
Yeah. And Aaron Miles is arguing it, but only for a moment. As it turns out, Javion Randall is safe.
Big break for the Pacifics right there.
At second base, and Zach Files remains safe at first. It was fielded cleanly by Stephen Javier at first base. He was only a few feet from the bag. He could have taken it to first easily, but instead wanted to get the lead runner, which is what he's been taught to do his whole life. And he threw it to the covering Valera at second base, who muffed it on the exchange and ended up calling Randall safe. Here's Mark Lindsay.
Another big error from the Diamonds.
The third error of the night as Lindsay squares to bunt and fouls it back.
But like you're saying to our good friend Max earlier, it says 3 errors each, but you feel like there are a lot more kind of peppered in there that don't get up on the board.
Yeah, there's been a little bit of sloppy play tonight. I don't know if it's because it's cold or what.
Cold, it's been a long game. I'm sure it's getting to the players a little bit.
1 for 3 for Lindsay tonight. 1 in and 2 on. Aaron Brill is on deck. We're in the bottom of the 7th inning. And he squares to bunt again, and this gets off the fingertips of Bracamane behind the plate, and
Gonna walk it off.
he's going to walk it off while Dean Petit goes and takes the long walk out to give Bracamane a minute to just kind of shake it off. Now he'll dust off the plate and collect some new game balls, and he'll do anything he can to give Bracamane a few extra seconds to deal with that foul ball. The plate didn't need it, but he pulled out the whisk broom anyway. 2 strikes on him.
Like you said, anything for Bracamane.
Well, these home plate umpires know the catcher's going to be a big league catcher. Going to be a professional catcher. You're going to get dinged up.
A couple knocks.
Lindsay stands in behind the count, 0-2. A 3-2 ball game. Pacific's threatening. Nobody out, 2 on. Fly ball right field. This has a pretty good piece of it, but it was foul. Way foul. Lindsay.
Can you imagine if that had gone out?
He squared to bunt twice and then took a full rip at it opposite field, just a little wide of the line. Brill on deck. Lindsay, the 7-hole hitter. Fastball is very high, and now it's 1-2.
If you are still here, we have your phone at the media table behind the Pacific's dugout. Nada.
It's been a while since the Pacific has been in this good of a position.
1-2 now to Lindsay. Batting .267 coming into tonight's action. 4 driven in on the season, but he has a chance to get more in. A big breaking ball. Bracamane blocks it, and I don't know how he did. That was a monster bender. And now it's 2-2. Kane Spangler with a 4.65 ERA has come in relief of Tyler Steinwald and has gotten himself in trouble. Gave up the home run to Gillespie, and now he's got 2 on and opposite field, and this is going to get down for a base hit into right field. Coming in on into Smith. He's got it. And Smith with a strong throw home. And on the play, Randall stops at third base, Files at second, Lindsay with a base knock at first base. He's 2 for 4 on the night, and here's Aaron Brill. Brill's 0 for tonight. He reached on a fielder's choice back in the 4th inning. With nobody out. And all of a sudden, there's action in the Pittsburgh bullpen.
21, Aaron Brill.
And Aaron Brill has a chance to put the Pacifics, he has a base knock puts them ahead. A 3-2 ball game, and the Pacifics have the bags jammed and nobody down. Spangler is going to face at least the next couple of batters because the Diamonds just got a couple guys up in the bullpen. Spangler comes home, a breaking ball in the dirt, and Bracamane blocks it. Ball 1, Brill batting .269 coming into tonight's action. Galando is on deck. 4th batter, the bottom of the 7th, is Lindsay. Lindsay's been all over the place tonight with a line drive to Yasuda, a strikeout. Fastball is fisted, foul, right side. 1-1.
In my younger baseball years, if I were Brill, I'd definitely get a little hungry, a little impatient, want to swing and get those runners in, but there's no reason to panic, especially with no outs, 3 runners on. So Brill definitely has the time to play it safe, be patient.
Brill's only driven in 1 so far this season.
1 all season?
All season. He could
go for 2. You should do right now.
Knock a couple in right here. And there's a chopper toward third. Is a tough play onto second for 1. Back over to first, not in time, and the Pacifics tie the game. Brill with a sacrifice gets it done, and the live ball, and Brill sneaks over to second base when the Pittsburghs weren't looking. They lollygagged the ball back over to Spangler, and Brill hustled into second. So Brill sacrifices his way over to second. Javion Randall scores on the play to tie it. It's a 3-3 ball game. Files to third base. Lindsay was caught on his way to second base for the first out, and Brill stands at second after the sacrifice and then makes his way over to second base on the heads-up base running. Here's Galando. First pitch swinging over to first. Scooped up by Javier, and it's called foul as it came off of Galando's foot.
Action-packed inning over here at Albert Park.
Boy, you're not kidding.
Spangler's got to be feeling a little nervous first inning up on the mound, and what is that, two runs in?
2 runs in, and the Pacifics have 2 runners in scoring position. Galando batting .200 coming in tonight's action as a strikeout, a walk, and hit into a 6-4 attempted double play. Back in the 6th. Galando could put the Pacifics ahead right here with a base knock, and instead he gets drilled. And he gets walked up the line by Dean Poteet, and a good home plate umpire will walk with the batter always on the inside part of the line, Jake, as you note, so that the batter doesn't rush the mound. And now here comes Aaron Miles. I think he's had enough of Spangler. So Galando is hit by the pitch. He'll end up at first base, and the Pacifics have the bases loaded again, and there'll be a new pitcher as Aaron Miles has taken the ball from Spangler, who leaves having given up 2 earned, including the 1 big bomb to Brent Gillespie over the left center field wall, his first batter that he faced.
And he tagged Galando right in the back.
And he's going to leave after having completely tagged Galando right in the lower back. And Galando's still walking it off. And when it's 55 degrees or something, he's going to get a visit. Galando is from the team trainer, Jesse Mazza, who's going to check him out and make sure he's okay. He just got whacked in that lower back. As L4'd him right down to first base. That was nasty. So the Diamonds are going to bring in. The Diamonds are going to bring in, that's L4 of your spine, the lumbar region.
Gotcha.
They're going to bring in a new pitcher, and when we figure out who it is and the line on that new pitcher, we'll bring that to you. But for now, we're going to take just a brief break right here on CM's coverage of the 2018 San Rafael Pacifics. We'll be right back, everybody. All right, as promised, everybody, the new pitcher for the Pittsburgh Diamonds, Cameron Hatch, a big left-hander, a 6.42 ERA. In 6 games, 7 innings pitched, 12 strikeouts against 6 walks, and a fastball to Don Andre Clark is a called strike. Still in the bottom of the 7th, the Pacifics have tied it. It's a 3-3 ball game. Hatch inherits 3 base runners and just 1 out as Clark fouls it back to the screen, and behind the count, 0-2. Just 1 out. The Pacifics scored 2 here in the bottom of the 7th to tie the game at 3. The Diamonds scored early, 1 in the first, 1 in the second, and 1 in the fourth, but the Pacifics chip away and score 2 here in the bottom of the 7th and are threatening for more. Don Andre stands in, and breaking ball is chopped toward third, and it's just foul. As Fracker went after it, a high jump, and was prepared to throw it home. Zach Files was speeding down the line.
Yeah, Hatch has definitely inherited a scary inning here for the Diamonds. He's probably thinking just efficient. Wants to get out here as quick as possible, give the Diamonds a bit of time to breathe, get him back in the batter's box.
0-2 to Don Andre. A .339 batter, 1 bomb, and 7 driven in. 0 for tonight. This is chopped past the shortstop. Valera into left field. 1 run scores in Files. And the Pacifics take the lead on the RBI by Don Andre Clark. And here's Rando Moreno. The bags are still loaded. And now the Pacific's 2, 3, 4 batters are lined up. The storm door is open, and they are lined up, ready to hit the West Coast. Here's Moreno, the 8th batter of the half inning. Moreno 1 for 4 on the night. Check at 3. He did walk last time up in a fastball. And Moreno is waving at it. 0-1.
Spangler and Hatch giving up to the first batters here for each of them.
Hatch with a 6.42 ERA in the dirt. And it was blocked by Bracamonte, but it got up and away from him for a moment, which brought Hatch running in. Because Bracamonte lost it for a moment, but not long enough to allow Mark Lindsay, the runner over at third base, to come in. No, that's Aaron Brill at third base. Check it. Brill at third. Galando at second with Don Andre Clark at first base, and now it's 2-1. Ooh, and that fastball had some snap on it, but outside. And now it's 3-1. Pacifics and Diamonds. Pacifics have taken the lead here with 3 runs in the 7th. It's 4-3. And he walked him. And that's going to give the Pacifics another one. So Aaron Brill scores on the play. And with 1 out, Moreno makes his way down to first, and here's Big Jake with the bases loaded. Taylor's 1 for 3 on the night. A walk, a pop-up, a single, and a run scored. Oh, check it. I'm looking at Moreno. Taylor is 0 for tonight. The last time up, he went down looking in that controversial low call that we had the CMCM instant replay.
Recent replay. And a pop-up. And you know Taylor just wants to hit one right out of the park after that last one.
I think Taylor's probably thinking, I want to go deep right here. One strike on him on the big breaking ball. From Cameron Hatch. Taylor ready to go. Here's the 0-1. A breaking ball third base line, and that's foul. And 0-2. Gillespie, who started things here in the bottom of the 7th with a home run, is on deck. Taylor, the 9th batter. Here's the 0-2 in the dirt to Taylor, and it's in the dirt. 1-2.
Still just waiting on the right pitch.
Don Andre Clark at third. Galindo at second. Moreno at first. Taylor with one away. Breaking ball is fouled back to the parking lot. He just missed it out off the end of the bat. I think Taylor's wincing, but not in pain. Only he would have just loved to have had that one over. 1-2, we'll do it again. Taylor, a very wide stance. Big Jake, the 350 hitter coming into tonight's action. He's looking for his first knock tonight. Fastball. Got him. Looking again with another late call. 2 in a row, and Taylor knew it this time. 2 down.
You think we'll get a replay of that in a couple innings?
I don't know. We might get the CMCM replay on Taylor's out here as he throws the helmet down and goes back into the Pacific's clubhouse. I think he's probably down underneath us right now, and he's probably not happy. The Pacific's clubhouse is right underneath where we are right now. You got the dugout, and then behind that is the clubhouse. You go through the dugout to get into the clubhouse, and I can't hear Taylor, but I think I can feel the place shaking. Well, here's Brent Gillespie with 2 down. He's the guy who started this whole rally for the Pacifics. A solo home run. Last time up. And the first pitch is a fastball. Oh, we're going to get a replay of the Jake Taylor strike 3 here in a moment. I'm not sure when we're going to. Oh, here it is, folks. Yep, there it is. Oh, that was legit. Now, Taylor knew it. He didn't argue this one. All right, that was very cool. Now we're back to Gillespie, who swings at a fastball. He was behind, and now it's 0-2 to Gillespie in his second time up this inning. 0-2 with 2 down. Pacifics have 3 runs in here in the bottom of the 7th. A 5-3 ball game, and he got him swinging. And that's how we end things. Well, the Pacifics go away here in the bottom of the 7th as Gillespie goes down. Well, Gillespie, both ends of things, Jake. He opens up the bottom of the 7th with a home run and then finishes the bottom of the 7th with a strikeout.
Yeah, Gillespie definitely had a bookend of an inning there.
Yeah, he really did. But the Pacifics, more importantly for Pacifics fans, went ahead, and it's a 5-3 ball game. It'll be Bracamonte, Valera, and Javier, the 6, 7, 8 hitters, coming up in the top of the 8th inning. Pacifics up 5-3 on CMCM's coverage of the 2018 San Rafael Pacifics. We'll be right back.
Mitch Williams?
All right. Can you look him up?
Yeah.
All right, welcome back, everybody. 5-3 Pacifics lead this one. Gabriel Bracamonte is going to lead things off for San Rafael. I mean, for the not for Centerville. For Centerville, there is a new pitcher, I'm happy to report. Bracamone is going to lead things off for Pittsburgh. And is behind in the count now. Check it, he's even in the count, 1-1. Well, the Pacifics in the bottom of the 7th did some great work, and the new pitcher for Centerville is the big left-hander, Mitch Williams. A 9.0 ERA. 9 strikeouts in 6 innings pitched. No record. Line chopper to Files at third. Long stretch by Taylor, 1 away.
Split for that one.
Yeah, that was a good play on both ends. As Files with a long throw. And when it's cold like this, get it in the glove, and to get it out of the glove is no easy feat. Here's Rafael Valera.
Number 2, Rafael Valera.
Valera on the night
Had an almost triple.
had an almost triple. He is 3 for 3. And a run scored. So Valera batting in the 7 hole. Came into tonight's action batting .263 and takes a strike. But that number's gone way up. And he takes a strike on the outside black, and Williams is working very quickly. A 9.0 in relief of Jared Koenig. .0 ERA. I'd like to finish off this game very quickly. The breaking ball, and that gets away from him, 1-2. Finish off this game quickly and start to work that 9.0 ERA down. Javier's on deck. Top 8, everybody. Pacific's lead 5-3. CMCM's coverage of the 2018 Santa Fe Pacifics will be back on the air on Thursday night. This Thursday. That'll be the 21st. As Valera fouls it back to the screen. 5th pitch coming up.
Who's on Thursday?
Same 2. A 3-game set. They do play tomorrow, but we won't have it for you on CMCM, so you could listen on PacificsBaseball.com. Hear Forrest Hunt. The breaking ball indoors. Oh, and everybody thought it was going to be called strike 3, but in fact, it's ball 2. 2-2. Just missed indoors a little bit with the breaking ball. 1 bomb and 16 driven in for Rafael Valera. The shortstop fists one toward the Budweiser dugout club on the first base side and foul. That's got to feel good. Freezing cold out here and fist one just off the grip of the bat.
Get the blood flowing, that's for sure.
Yeah, well, that may be true. Got those gloves on, not just for the grip, but also for the warmth. Here's the 2-2. No. Williams steps off. Top of the 8th inning. And theoretically, the Diamonds are down to their last 6 outs. Long fly ball into deep right field. And at the base of the wall, Galindo is there, and he makes the grab 2 away. For a second, it looked like that was going to get down, but it just sort of hung.
I was going to say, I don't know if it's the fatigue here, but I thought for sure right at the crack of that bat that was going down or out. One of the two.
Yeah, he hit it very well. Here's Steven Javier. And though he hit it well, Jesus Galindo had a perfect jump on it. Just a great read out there in right field. Right field. Patrolled for 5 full years by the great Michael Hova.
That was my position, you know.
Is that right?
Mm-hmm. Head chef making mud pies out there.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
Well, you know, in in pro ball, you put the guy with the best arm on the team in right field.
It's not how it worked for Little League, that's for sure.
Of course not. You always put the worst player in right field in Little League. I mean, everybody knows that. I coached Little League. I coached Richmond Little League in 2000. Let's see. The team was the Cardinals. You know who used to come out every once in a while? Was the great Willie McGee.
Really?
Would come out and talk to the team once in a while. Yeah, he was friends with one of the other coaches.
Some motivation every now and then.
Yeah. And, of course, Willie McGee was one of my favorite players. Silver Slugger, Rookie of the Year, won a World Series. Willie McGee. And he lived in Hercules.
Local boy?
Yeah, he was friends with one of the other coaches on the team. So I was always thrilled to hear from him. 2 down. And Williams is able to get Javier and go 1-2-3 as he gets him swinging. So the Pittsburghs cannot improve, and the score remains 5-3. The Pacifics in the bottom of the 8th will be sending up. I have to look at my card because they sent 10 batters up in the bottom of the 7th. But here in the bottom of the 8th, it'll be Javion Randall, Zach Files, and Mark Lindsay. 5-3 Pacifics lead on CMCM's coverage, our continued coverage of the 2018 Santa Fe Pacifics, and we'll be right back. All right. Welcome back, everybody, in the bottom of the 8th inning. Well, it's getting late. And the Pacifics, Javion Randall will lead things off, and he's in there and takes a strike. Randall, a walk last time up, led to one of the Pacific's rally runs there in their 4-run 7th. Big curveball.
Javion Randall definitely hoping to get one nice last hearty rally going. Pepper a few more runs in there before what are theoretically the last 3 outs for the Diamonds get through.
Hatch working quickly. Long fly ball. Deep right field. Backing up on it is Smith. Out of here.
Can you say Oppo Taco?
Javion Randall goes opposite field for the second home run of the night for the Pacifics. And now it's a 6-3 ball game. Oh, Randall went opposite field with a fastball and way over the right field wall.
Home run number 2 this year.
That's just his second home run of the year and his 18th RBI. And here's Zach Files. Javion Randall goes deep. Cameron Hatch knew at the instant Randall got into it. He had just laid a total tater in there for him to just kill in the dirt now. And it's 1-1. Files with a run scored his last AB. Batting .305 and a check swing, and he went around, and now it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. 16 walks for Zach to lead the team. 1-2. And a breaking ball, and he foul tipped it off of Bracamonte. Yeah, Bracamonte has been dinged up tonight. He's had to walk off about 4 different pitches as Dean Petit takes a long walk out to give Cameron Hatch the game ball, as Bracamonte gets back there motionless.
He's definitely taking a beat tonight. You can't say he hasn't put his body on the line for the Diamonds tonight. That's for sure.
Yeah, you're right. You are absolutely right. He's
in a long game like this, he's got to be feeling it.
This game is 3 hours and 29 minutes old. And we're just in the bottom of the 8th. Pacific's lead 6-3. Some games are quicker than others, and Zach Files goes down swinging at the high hard one One away. Bottom 8, 6-3 center foul. Here's Mark Lindsay.
Now batting for your Pacifics, 32, Mark Lindsay.
Lindsay with a base knock to right field, his last at bat, 2 for 4 on the night. Lindsay with one down, no one on, and he takes a fastball across the knee. Strike one. Aaron Brill is on deck. And he fists one into center field, and that gets down for a base hit. And Hatch coughs up another. Now, that was a little slide piece that Lindsay was able to get into and sort of muscle out over the second base bag. He has his third hit on the night. And here's Aaron Brill. And Aaron Miles wants to talk to
Hatch.
Cameron Hatch, as it looks like somebody's lubed up in the Diamonds bullpen. And Aaron Miles is going to bring in a right-hander. And we'll have the line on the new pitcher and the name of the new pitcher when we come back right here on CMCM's coverage of the 2018 San Rafael Pacifics. We'll be right back. Well, welcome back, everybody. Our new pitcher is Alex Leach for the visiting Diamonds. A 3.17 ERA in 3 games. 5 2/3 innings pitched, 9 strikeouts against 3 walks, 4 hits, 3.17 ERA. Aaron Brill, the hitter, with 1 on and 1 down. First pitch is a cutter on the outside part of the plate. Called strike. Last time up, Brill with a sack ended up scoring a run in that 4-run rally for the good old San Rafaels. Javion Randall, a home run to lead things off this inning. Brent Gillespie, the home run, who led things off last inning. Pacifics have had good luck with leadoff batters tonight. Brill behind in the count, 0-1 in the dirt. 1-1. Galanda's on deck. And why does that matter? Well, Galando, as you may recall, was whacked in the lower back last time up. The only hit batsman tonight. And we'll find out if he's stiffened up or not. Brill stands in, 1-1. 1 down, 1 in. A 6-3 ball game. Popped him up right side, not a play. 1 ball and 2 strikes now to the second baseman. The .269 batting Aaron Brill. Although that number has gone down a little bit tonight as he is 0 for. Brill behind in the count, 1-2. Leach on the mound, the big, tall righty deals in that breaking ball. He's thrown 2 curveballs so far. Both of them have been in the mud. 2-2. Man, it has gotten cold. My fingertips are frozen out here.
I don't have hands anymore.
I got to start bringing the gloves. I thought about it. Got the mittens in the car. Just didn't think we needed it because it was so nice when the game started.
We also didn't think this game would go till 11 o'clock.
That's a good point. Usually the games go about 3 hours. And we're coming up on 4 hours as it is. Brill stands in. Pacific second baseman, 2-2, chopped off of home plate. Very anxiously went after ball 3. Lucky to get a piece of it. There's a good view of the Pacific's bullpen. And it looks like Pacific's may bring a closer in. in the top of the ninth. We're in the bottom of the eighth inning right now in a 6-3 ball game. Pittsburgh hasn't scored in 4 innings, and he swings again at something very low in the strike zone and fouls it down the third base line. 7th pitch of the at-bat coming up for Aaron Brill. Leach, the big, tall right-hander. Lindsay, the runner at first base. Brill way back in the box. 2-2 count. Galindo on deck. Here it is. Fastball, and he just caught a piece of it to foul it off. 8th pitch coming up at the at-bat. Oh, man.
Another one of those hefty pitch counts for these batters tonight.
Yeah, this is a great battle. Two-two. Brill methodically stands back in. Bent slightly at the waist. Chokes way up on the bat. Here's the 2-2. Runner goes. Long fly ball. Left field and foul. Ooh. Brill turned on it just a little early. Really had good extension. 9th pitch coming up. It's heavyweight duel. Lindsay was running on the pitch. Matt Cavanaugh continues to pour it on. 6-3 ball game. Just 1 out here in the 8th. Brill looking for his first knock of the night. Here it is. Got him with the high cheese. Brill goes down swinging, 2 down. Lindsay does not try to steal, and I'm glad that he didn't, as a Pacifics fan anyway. Because the high, hard one is the toughest pitch on which to steal. And here's Jesus Galindo.
Feeling a little better after that knock in the back.
Yeah, Galindo was whacked in the lower back and then stranded at second base back in the 7th. And he takes indoors 1-0. Lindsay over there at first base is just itching to go. He's taken a huge lead, but more than that, his secondary lead is something that Leach is really keeping an eye on. Leach, the right-hander, has to look him back out of the corner of his left eye, and he does so, and here now he comes home. Up and in, and it's 2-0. Galindo batting 200 coming into tonight's action. Still looking for his first knock of the night. Struck out back in the first swinging. Breaking ball is taken, 3-0. It's been so windy here in Santa Fe this week, but tonight, dead calm all night. Just a slight breeze at the start of the game, but nothing now. Very high, and he walked him on 4 pitches. Well, Galindo walks for the second time tonight, and that pushes Lindsay on over to second base.
Finally gets to make it that far.
So with 2 on and 2 down, here's a Don Andre Clark.
Don Andre Clark.
The top of the order is Clark. Clark with a base knock, his last time up, stranded at third base in that 4-run 7th. And all of a sudden, Leach can't find the strike zone, very high with the fastball. 4-pitch walk to Galindo. And now Clark takes. And I don't think he's going to be swinging anytime soon. Certainly not before Leach can establish that he has the slightest command of the strike zone. Yeah, that was a good pitch right across the knees, 1-1. Clark swings so violently.
He's always trying to knock the life out of that ball, that's for sure.
Well, yeah, it's either that or if he just wants to get out of the batter's box, the way leadoff batters oftentimes do. They want to get going down the first base line so fast. You see it a lot in softball, believe it or not. The kind of the running slap. It's like Don Andre's version of a running slap. Not to compare what he does to a softball player, but
I see where you're going with that.
yeah, he seems very anxious to get moving.
It's his nature.
2-1 to Clark. Very high, and now it's 3-1. And except for the second pitch, Leach delivered to Don Andre. Everything else has been not close. Lindsay at second. Galindo at first. Clark ahead in the count 3-1. Breaking ball is stroked into right field, and that could get Lindsay in. He takes a big turn at third, but the throw in is a strong one from Brett Smith in right field. And as it turns out Lindsay stops at third. Galindo at second. Don Andre has his his second base hit of the night.
Now batting for your Pacifics.
And the base is loaded. Here's Rando Moreno.
Above the rest builders.
Bracamonte just took another hit.
Moreno.
So Moreno has been on base 3 times tonight. A couple of hits, a walk. And now he has the bases loaded with 2 down. So anything in play gives the Pacifics a little extra cushion. 3 runs is nice, but any manager will tell you 5's the golden number. Long fly ball. Check it, high fly ball to shallow right.
Way high.
And coming in on it is Smith, and he's got it. And on one pitch, Rando Moreno with a fly ball to 9 to end things. Well,
For your Pacific.
this is the last chance
3 hits.
for the visiting Pittsburgh Diamonds, who trail by 3, 6-3. And it will be Austin Fraker, Brett Smith, and Yuki Yasuda for the visiting Diamonds in the top of the 9th inning. We've reached the top of the 9th, believe it or not, fans. And this game, at this point, is coming up almost 4 hours old. We're just about 10 minutes shy of 4 hours old. So I suspect that the Pacifics will be anxious to get this done. Although I wouldn't mind going extra innings. I like it here. This is what I love. I love baseball. It's 6-3, especially when the Pacifics win. 6-3, and the Pacifics are on top. We're going to have the top of the 9th for you when we come back right here on CMCM's continued coverage of the 2018 San Rafael Pacifics. Oh, welcome back, everybody. That's right, Jose Casilla on the mound for the San Rafaels. Pacific's closer. Casilla, that's right. You probably heard his name. Fraker leads off and is ahead in the count 2-0. Fraker, Smith, and Yasuda, top 9. Pacific's closer, Casilla. A fastball, and he's really snapping. A 4.05 ERA in 7 games. 6 2/3 innings pitched, 12 strikeouts, 2 walks. Giving up 5 hits. Fraker from Casilla, a breaking ball. Oh, a little slider there was nasty, and he just barely fouled it off 2-2. Fraker batting .306. Stands in 2-2. Casilla, the big right-hander. Strike 3 called. 1 down.
Aside from the part that it's his job to get this done quick as the closer, especially tonight, running on 4 hours, Casilla wants us to get over quick and easy so him and the team get some rest for tomorrow.
Well, that's entirely possible. Casilla just sits in the bullpen and waits for the time he's called upon.
His moment.
Yeah. Smith stands in. Now, this wouldn't constitute a save, because the Pacifics are up by 3. There's that slider, the late movement. Oh, man. That's a pitch we haven't seen all night. Not like that. Called strike against Smith. Smith is 1 for 4 tonight. Outside black of the fastball and nothing in 2. And Casilla's ahead in the count very quickly.
That is some gas right there.
Yeah, Casilla's definitely up another level. He throws very hard and keeps the ball hidden very well. Big right-hander. Chopper towards short. Moreno's got it. And Moreno can't handle it. And Moreno wisely just held on to it. It was such a high chopper that there was just no way they were going to have a play on it. Smith very quick down the line. So a single for Brett Smith, and here's Yuki Yasuda. Yasuda, who has walked a couple times tonight, a strikeout and a knock in the 5th. With Patrick O'Donnell on deck. Casilla, fastball is indoors, 1-0. Casilla is one of those guys, for all the people that hung out and watched this entire game, it's well worth it to watch him try to close this thing out. Pacifics with a 3-run lead, a 6-3 advantage. As Yasuda, even in the count, 1-1. O'Donnell is on deck, who started off strong tonight. Has a couple of knocks, including a triple. Casilla now a toss over to first. Yasuda stands in, 1-1. Fastball is up and in. And now it's 2-1. Casilla was one of those guys that Pacific signed very late. And we're very happy to do so. There's the fastball, 2-2. And I know the Pacific's president and general manager, Mike Shapiro, is very high on Casilla. There's a shot up the middle, and this will be trouble. It's Aaron Brill who gets a hand on it and knocks it down, but no play is made. And Yasuda has a base hit, and the Diamonds have back-to-back base knocks. And Casilla, yes?
I was just going to say, it's getting a little nerve-wracking here this top of the ninth.
Well, that's a very good point, because now with Casilla out there, here in the top of the ninth, the tying run has come to the plate with just 1 out. Patrick O'Donnell, who with a stand-up triple back in the first sort of set the tone, had the first RBI of the night for either team. And for the first half of the game, the Diamonds led this thing 3-1, and it seemed to stay there forever until the Pacifics had that 4-run 7th. There's that slider for a strike. 0-1 to O'Donnell. Fastball popped him up first base line. Taylor's on the move. Taylor up against the wall, and it's out of play. 2 strikes to Patrick O'Donnell, who's batting .290 coming into tonight's action. Picked up his 10th RBI back in the first inning. Had a base knock his last at-bat. That was in the 7th. He went opposite field. And now he's behind in the count, 0-2 with 1 down, 2 on. The breaking ball is low and away. 1-2. Very close, but Dean Poteet was very clear, an emphatic outside call. Casilla takes a little extra time. Looks into Lindsay. Here's the 1-2. Got him on the slide piece that just fell out of the strike zone. 2 down. O'Donnell goes down swinging. And here is the big slugger, Joel Carranza.
Now batting for Pittsburgh, number 7, Joel Carranza.
Joel Carranza struck out 3 consecutive times in the first, third, and fifth, and then hit into a 5-2-3 double play. When the Diamonds had the bases loaded, nobody out. And back in the 7th. Carranza takes outside. Wes Wallace is on deck. Carranza the DH in the 4-hole. Fastball is golfed first base line and caught by a fan. A fan who was outside of the stadium. Saw it coming and had his glove and caught it on the fly.
He's been running around all night. He's been hungry for a pop.
Gamer. 1-1. 2 down. Fastball is taken. 2-1. Casilla against Carranza. It's power on power. The big slugger Carranza. A wide open stance. Waggles the bat. Casilla a long look in. Here it is. Curve ball is stroked into center field. That's going to get down. That goes all the way to the fence. Scooped up by Clark, and 1 run scores on the play. It's 6-4. Carranza stops at first base. He hit it so hard it got into center field very rapidly. Smith scores on the play. To third goes Yuki Yasuda. Nick DeBar wants to talk to Casilla. Carranza absolutely hammered it. And that's the 3rd hit here in the top of the 9th inning. And Carranza, and it looks like Aaron Miles is going to bring in a pinch runner for Carranza at first base. And we'll wait for Mark Carlson at the announcement on who the pinch runner is, because the pinch runner is number 4 and has not played tonight.
Closer runner, maybe?
Nick DeBar has finished his discussion with Casilla out on the mound.
Running at first base for Pittsburgh, number 4, Joe Torre.
Joe Torre. Believe it or not, his name is Joe Torre. is the pinch runner at first base.
Now batting for the Diamonds, 13,
Not the great Yankee
Wes
Joe Torre,
Wallace.
but the great Diamond, perhaps.
We're close.
Carranza gets that much-needed knock and an RBI. It's a 6-4 ball game, and the Diamonds are looking for more with 2 down. Casilla deals 1-0 to Wes Wallace. Gabriel Bracamonte is on deck. Casilla working quickly, and there's a slider. 1-1, a called strike.
Back and forth with the pitches for Casilla.
Wallace has struck out 3 times tonight, 0 for 4 officially. His 5th AB. Casilla comes home, and Wallace swings at a slider, 1-2.
So one
back
more.
door.
Good pitch for Casilla here.
Yeah. Pittsburgh down to their final strike. 6-4, runners at the corners. Casilla, the big right-hander on the hill, the closer for the Pacifics. Wallace, the 5-hole slugger. Fastball is high. 2-2. Can Casilla finish the deal? This is what the Pacifics brought him in for. The 2-2. Casilla working quickly. Got him swinging. Ball game. Wes Wallace strikes out, and the Pacifics win 6-4. For the Diamonds, 4 runs on 11 hits and 2 errors. They left 10 on base. 6 runs on 12 hits, 3 errors, 17 base runners left out there by the San Rafaels. Spangler is the loser. And I'm not sure who the winner was for the Pacifics, as our roster was a little unclear. It said Quinn Pippin was the winner, although we'd never reported on Pippin being out there. We had it go Koenig, and then Williams for the Pacifics, and then Casilla. Huh. That's interesting how that works. We do appreciate you being here. A 4-hour game for the San Rafaels. In fact, it was 4 hours to the minute that the San Rafaels picked this one up 6-4, the final over the Pittsburgh Diamonds. San Rafael will be back in action tomorrow. You can listen on PacificsBaseball.com, and then Thursday night we'll be back here live on CMCM's coverage of the 2018 San Rafael Pacifics. For the whole crew out here at Albert Park, Stuart Horn signing off, saying so long and thank you for spending your evening with us and the San Rafael Pacifics.